Helldiver, the Super Destroyer is ready for your next mission. Greetings, Helldiver. The Galactic War awaits. Helldivers, take command of the galaxy's liberation.
PCs falling.
Otherwise, I'll go grab it. Actually, I could just get it here from my downstairs PC. I'll grab it. I think I have it saved. Hi. We're just waiting for our producer. He's got the voicemail. Otherwise, I'm gonna go get it right now, guys. So just give us 1 minute. Hi, Poppy. Hi, Cam. What is that, John?
That wasn't me.
That was me. Yep.
Yeah, Corral, you really are itching to fire. Tiger, I know. Can I not get in my recycling bin from up here?
Round after round into the bodies of your enemies.
Turn on the TV.
But if you get carried away,
Tiger.
your shooting days
Tiger.
are over.
Hey, Corral, DM him in the Discord. I don't want to go downstairs right now, and I can't get in my recycling bin for some reason.
So they can keep
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
You know I can't talk to you right now. I'm playing Clash of Clans right now.
Yeah, John's got a song. You can't DM him. Alright, let me get my fat ass up. Hold on. John, talk to the people.
I'm gonna get a beer, I think.
Is a Pokemon stop, yo. Right down the road.
Just give me the file. We're done.
Where Marvel snapping. You know I'm unavailable. 'Cause it's mobile. And I'm tapping right now. You know I'm unavailable. 'Cause it's mobile. And I'm swiping right now, yeah. You know I'm kind of old school. I'm still jetpack joyriding. While you're over there candy crushing.
Relay. I'm gonna take a rocket defense for the airships that come in. And do I want? Yeah, since we never really go outside, I test the foil because of the scrambled or
Scramble?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I sent it over.
No, come to
Yeah,
that.
we had John's buddy.
Okay.
It's a good show because they've done mobile stuff together. And he has some knowledge of mobile.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I hope that's alright, file.
So what made you want to do a mobile episode?
Well,
Random.
we like to do themes that force us to like play stuff that we won't or wouldn't have
Right.
because you're obviously doing the show for almost 20 years. And the Call of Duty thing was kind of, isn't Warzone like kind of new? Or is it just a new season?
I don't know. That's a good question.
There's a bunch of people I saw talking about it, and I'm like, huh. And then I was like, well, I should ask Matt if he wants to do it. And I'm like, yeah, that'd actually be a good fit for you. Because John and I aren't really. No, I guess I play a few mobile games. People, it's gonna be like a divisive show. There's always the people.
Maybe the super fleet.
Why are you even doing this? Don't even give mobile gaming any attention.
Yeah, this is gonna be
But-
for sure.
It's gonna be one of those, but I think like one show out of almost 1,000 about mobile, I think we'll make it through.
People are pretty demanding for
Alright.
a free show.
They are. I'm like, you know what? Like I said last week with the beeping when we got complaints, I'm like, it's a free show. Skip it if it was annoying, you know? Like I get it. John takes risks, but. Warzone is new to mobile. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, that's why that was kind of like my push for it. All right, you want to record? You ready?
Over here, I think.
Yeah.
What's your
Oh,
problem,
shit.
John?
What?
I think there's more than one way in
What?
now. Oh,
What?
shit.
What?
Uh-oh.
What are you?
Can you pep up a little bit here? Your best bud is on.
Yeah, I thought you said high energy, John.
Yeah.
I
high
told
energy,
Matt
then
that.
he come-
No. First of all, I'm a professional. Okay, I
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. the
morph
second
into
we go
someone
live-
completely different as soon as I say
Oh, so
3,
you're
2, 1.
phony. I got it.
No, I just it's a stage.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
of,
gonna come in that way.
Whatever stage face, a game face, Michelle.
My dollar.
All right. Let's get our game faces on. I'm
Oh,
kind of the same.
All right, but right now it's just why blow our wad here, you know?
Buddy.
No, it's right. You gotta release it at the start.
That's right.
Oh, it's on the wall.
Spread
Okay.
the wad out.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. All
you
right,
ready?
let's start recording. All right, go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 850 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson. Now, I'm excited about this show, Michelle. Matt, by the way, Matt, what's his fucking name?
Bradford.
It's your best friend. It's your partner.
No,
it's
no,
your
Matt Bradford
business-
is not here.
Yes.
And we're gonna do a themed episode that I'm excited about because it's a little different. Made me do stuff I wasn't gonna do otherwise.
Yeah, we're doing a mobile games themed episode, but we're going to get to that question. What is a mobile game? What does that mean today? Because I actually played mobile games on my PC. And joining us, your best friend, your buddy, your bandmate, guy you've made mobile apps
That's
with.
right, Matt and I. If you guys aren't aware, we were very early iOS developers with Tomato Interactive. We did some games, Matt. Right? We kind of slacked off the last 8 years or whatever.
I remember I was over your house and we were like working on music, and the App Store had launched a few months before, and you're like, we should make an app. And I'm like, really? And so like the next day I went out and got an iPhone programming book, and then we started making apps, and we put out. The apps we put out, like, for a while, were paying our mortgage. That's how well we were doing. Both of our mortgages
and then
for, like, 2 years.
The entire world came in and competed with us,
Right.
like, overnight.
Right.
And now, I mean, really, Matt professionally is a high-level iOS developer for,
I made it my full-time after that.
Another tank.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
so anyway,
you have some
Matt's the
knowledge
right
in
one
the
to be
industry.
here.
He's the good guy to be here.
He's the right one to be here.
That's right.
And I'm sure we're going to talk about Apple TV maybe, and you know, like Michelle said, what is an app?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm not a lover of mobile games, but I think that's obviously changing. It's really just a screen at some point with some of the things, because some games are out for everything now, and even bigger games like Death Stranding are available on mobile. So we'll get into that. We'll talk about some games, of course. Right now, though, we are live on VideoGameOutsiders.com. We do it every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. If you missed it, you can get our app. It's on iOS and Android. We do have an app.
That's right, we do.
John, the app is good because
Well,
there's
Matt
bonus shows
actually
on
did the
there.
original VGO app.
Yeah, don't confuse people. Okay, so
That was when I was. That was when I was still learning. That thing was a little bit janky, I gotta admit. But no, that thing's long gone. It's been replaced by the Libsyn.
So search for Video Game Outsiders. You get our app because you can listen to bonus shows on there. Some are free and some are premium. And our listeners actually met up at Midwest Gaming Classic. So shout out to Crafty City, Wanda, Kevin, CC Games, the GameStar guy. They met him out there, and they did a show on the app completely free where they talked about what they saw at Midwest Gaming Classic out there in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kevin gave people like 3D printed VGO signs. A bunch of people came up to him that aren't even in the Discord or
Yeah,
haven't even
Kevin
talked.
sent me one of those VGO 3D printed. I don't know if it's the same exact one.
I think it is. But
I
it was
have
cool
one, and I'm
because he
looking at
said
it
people
right
came
now.
up to him and they're like, I listen to you on the app. You know, I've never spoken to you before. I'm a fan, whatever. So that's very cool. Next year they want to do like a bigger meetup. So if you're in the Midwest or you want to go to Wisconsin for that, I think it's usually around in April. Like we'll probably promote it and people can meet there. So yeah, check out the app. We do bonus shows during the week. Some are free, some are premium. We also streamed this week. John, you did the MLB The Show Discord thing at twitch.tv/John and Michelle. But if they want to support us, they wanted to get the bonus shows that you and I do during the week. How do they do that?
That's right. Go to our website, VideoGameOutsiders.com. There is a red premium button. Go ahead and click it, lick it, whatever you need to do. Go to the next page. Go premium. It's $1.99 a month. That unlocks our entire back catalog of almost 20 years. For real.
Yeah, next summer.
Like 20 years in internet life is like, that's a long
Go
time.
Tesla Coil.
Just in internet life, it's a long time.
Well, I know, but just looking at the evolution of technology since when we started to where we are right now, very different. You know, there was no iPhone when we started this shit. Okay, I was putting podcasts on my iPod.
You were riding your BMX bike. And, you know,
Well, no, I mean,
things
listen,
are pretty different.
when podcasting started, I literally was bringing my iPod into my house and syncing it with a USB cable. That's how you got the shit in your car.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then, like, you couldn't stream anything. Well, at least initially it didn't work. But anyway, whatever. The history's all there. Go to VideoGameOutsiders.com. Then also, Michelle and I do bonus stuff every single week. We do Micro VGO. We do PC Outsiders, The John Show. What was the last show we did? It was just Micro, right? Like
We did a micro, yeah. The John Show is very popular with the listeners, though.
yeah,
You walk
John
around
Show's
and
on there.
talk.
It's a walk
People love
cast.
John Show.
It's Yeah, it's a revolutionary way of podcasting.
It is. People love it.
It's
So check out
multitasking.
videogameoutsiders.com. Hit that red button. It's only $1.99 a month to get the back catalog, the weekly bonus shows, and you support the show. All right, so we have a voicemail tonight as well.
That's right. If you guys want to send us voicemail, pick up a phone and dial 520-FEEL-VGO. Could be a question, comment, whatever. Just pick up your phone and dial 520-FEEL-VGO.
Hey, VGO, I just gotta say that Dragon's Dogma game is absolutely amazing.
I agree.
Everybody should play it.
But not with the beeps. Not this
It's got a
again.
lot going for it. A lot of things to do.
John.
Kind of exciting.
People are mad
basically,
at you.
it's game of the year.
Are you ready to admit what you did?
So,
No, I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I
have a
had
good
a
Okay.
there was a
fine.
malfunction in my home,
So,
and
yeah.
and you're looking for something other than that.
I want to say that I have to hear the yelling because you just hide your head in the sand. So I have to hear the people that come in and complain. Last show was so annoying. I just shut it off. How come you not change the battery? Then other people come in. One of my top 5 episodes, hilarious. He committed to a bit.
top
I loved
three,
it.
top 3
Yeah.
episodes. By
So
the way,
it's very divisive.
Michelle,
Okay.
listen.
Yeah.
Annoying at the time,
After a certain amount of time, they just
but in hindsight, memorable.
Annoying.
As an outsider, I will say I was actually cracking up. I don't, and you could tell that Michelle, you had him read immediately too. The fact that he was laughing.
But
like,
Matt didn't. Matt. Okay, whatever. I don't want to
This
you know.
is the dynamic of
I
the
don't
show.
want to pull the
Like, if
curtain
you
here,
guys,
but
some people are like, "Oh my God, why was Michelle so mad?" Like, you guys, like, for the people that have don't get it, like, John actually sets out to intentionally piss me off for the entertainment value. Then I get pissed off, and then he also does it so he can trick Matt and try to make a fool of Matt, which he did. He sent the poor guy upstairs to talk to his wife, look around. He's getting a
I don't
kick
know
out
what you're
of that,
talking
right?
about. I don't listen.
I know what I'm talking
It was
about.
a
Like, Matt
real
said, I picked it up like this,
malfunction in
okay?
my home,
You don't
okay,
Yeah.
that I had to
John,
address
no, no, no,
after
no.
the show because the show was scheduled. I needed to
Yeah.
just
It's
keep going,
fine.
and
John,
I
I
addressed
picked
it.
it up immediately. I have a high EQ, okay? My emotional
All right,
intelligence and
whatever.
dealing with you for 20 years has told me that you were full of shit the second you opened your mouth. And poor Matt's upstairs looking around for a beep,
it
and you're
was
giggling
fun.
your ass off. But some of our listeners got real mad, okay? Got real angry, and they said they couldn't listen to the show. So, yes, okay, our show is free. Skip the ones you hate. We're sorry, but some people love it. So, John, I'm sure you make no apologies. You love the fact that you piss people off.
I'm not. No, I
I
wasn't pissing anyone. No, that wasn't my intention.
Yeah, you were.
I was fun.
Of course, you want to piss me off. I know that. That's definitely your intention. Sup, game vet. So yeah, John. When I told him he had pissed off some people, he said, "Great, love it." That was his. So yeah, sorry about last week. The beeps are done. He stopped playing the video.
I mean,
yeah.
what's that expression about? Like you want to be loved or hated, but not like
Yes.
you don't want to be not cared about.
Listen,
like you don't want to be
we've been
middle of the
doing
road.
this for so long. Just we gotta mix it up, okay? That's it.
It's
The
a
end.
memorable.
The end.
I do like it where every episode has something memorable about it. So like tonight, it's the mobile episode. Maybe it's shit. Maybe it's boring. Maybe people hate it. But you know what? We took a risk with the Weeb episode. Oh yeah, you have a song.
I just wanted to let you
We'll
know
be at the end of the show.
that I miss you.
You know I can't talk to you right now. I'm playing Clash of Clans right now. You know I got
Whatever.
the war.
So yeah, this is our. Well, I'll play this at the end of the show.
Theme.
But yeah, this is our
Let's
mobile
get into
episode. I'm looking forward to actually discussing this stuff because, again, these assignments make us do things
Yeah.
that we normally wouldn't really
I love the assignment.
give our attention to, right? Matt, would you agree with that, or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say a lot of times they do. A lot of times you guys have an assignment and then you just kind of loosely
Tie it
connect
to
it to the thing so it doesn't actually change what
Yeah.
you're doing or playing. But
It was
sometimes
either
it
the
does
mobile
for sure.
theme or the poop game theme tonight.
Well,
I think I
yeah,
had a choice.
Michelle and I
Yeah, we
had
were
talked,
poop
Matt. We were gonna do
games.
scat games or.
Yeah, so I think mobile might be better than poop games.
Yeah, yeah, definitely better.
We'll see. I bet some people would prefer the poop
The
games.
scat game
You know, I
is
want
on
you
the
guys, If
horizon.
you're thinking about turning this off, I don't think you should, because I think we've all kind of dug into something different, and we have our own take on it, our own spin on it. And so let's just move right on into it
That's right.
as well.
All right, so let's do our 10-second spotlight. Michelle, obviously, the queen of the ball goes first. What did you
Yeah.
mobile
Okay,
over there?
so I took this opportunity to reinstall the Google Play Games beta, which I didn't really look at before. I kind of didn't give it the time of day. But they have basically this out right now where on your PC you can play selected Android mobile
That's the
games.
problem I had with it, by the way.
Yeah.
Why is it curated?
Not all of them?
Yeah, I don't
Well,
like that.
I think it's slowly rolling out. It's in beta, and to be fair, you know, I was blown away by some of the ones I tried, and here's why. Because they had ultra-wide support, and I'm not just talking like because of the aspect ratio of the phone. One game did have that where I still like was missing a little bit, but it was it's actually a nice transition to go from like a phone aspect ratio to an ultra-wide. It's kind of almost the same. But other games, like the first one I want to talk about, Dragon Air Silent Gods, had full ultra-wide support and WASD support, so it wasn't just click to move with the mouse. And I think because this game is also on Steam, and a lot of these games are PC mobile crossover, so it's a 9 gig game. So when I turn this game on, I have seen some stuff about it out there on YouTube. There's a couple of people who play it.
Michelle,
So
say
who's
the name
curious about it?
of that
It's
again.
called Dragon Air Silent Gods.
Okay.
And like I said, also on Steam, but I played on the Google Play Games beta with ultra-wide support, 21.9, and with WASD, so the controls and everything felt great. Now, it is a D&D D4 rule set game, sort of like an open world fantasy game with 200 characters you can collect. You're rolling the dice. I mean, it's basically Baldur's Gate in mobile form to me. A really interesting story. I mean, I fought a guy who was born out of a planet. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the story's pretty good.
A guy
The
that was born on a
presentation-
planet? Get the
yeah, he
fuck out
hatched
of
out
here.
of like a planet. Yeah,
Wait,
I'm in.
on it
So-
or in it?
Yeah, in it. He came out of it. He like hatched like a baby chick out of a planet.
You mean like in a
And I-
cave?
no,
I mean, that's happened before.
no, it's like a planet ball. No, a planet. Like the actual planet was an egg, and he hatched out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so anyway, it's like BG3, Baldur's Gate 3 to me in like a mobile game form. And the thing that was cool about
This
it
is on Steam too, though.
Yes, it's on Steam too. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to try it on here just because I wanted to see like what the difference would be. Because I have tried it on Steam in the past. I tried it like very briefly, but I installed it because generally I stay away from like free mobile style games where it's all sort of feels like very gacha, like you get 200 characters and you gotta buy it. Like I don't really get into that world. But I feel like when it's a mobile game, and I'm playing a mobile game on my PC through Google Play Games, I'm a little more lenient with what I'll be accepting. Okay, so I went into this one with an open mind, and I
should,
actually
you know,
kind of
I'm gonna use
enjoying
I'm gonna use
myself.
this opportunity right now just to say this.
Okay.
That's kind of the great thing about Apple Arcade. They strip all of that gotcha
Yes.
microtransaction
Well,
stuff
it's not
out
all
of the
stripped
games.
out from every game, but it's out of
No,
some
Apple
games.
Arcade.
In
On
this-
Apple Arcade, it is though.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like,
Well,
you'll
that's
have a
'cause
game.
It's your subscription service, yeah.
I know, but you'll have a game that normally would be free to play with all these microtransactions, and the Apple Arcade version has removed all of them. But go on.
Yeah. Just some games are like that, but
Yeah.
some games are. I mean, the thing with this game is, I think this is like mid-level. It wasn't as offensive as another one I want to talk about in a little bit, where I actually had to turn it off because it was more managing menus and clicking on collecting things than it was gameplay, and that is the biggest thing I hate about mobile gaming. Okay, so this one though, like I said, it is a grid-based sort of real-time strategy game where you can either put it on auto where they fight for you, but I don't recommend doing that, okay? Maybe that works if you're at the bank on your phone or something, even though I don't know why you'd be playing this there. But on the PC, like I really did enjoy manually aiming and selecting the characters and the attacks that I was going to use. And so it almost had like a Banner Saga or some sort of Final Fantasy Tactics style grid where you're kind of arranging characters and then using abilities and deciding where you want to place all that. And you're building this team, like I said, of 200 heroes you can collect, all with different sort of skills, and not just like, oh, melee archer, but they have like, oh, I'm a poison guy, I'm a frost guy, and how are these going to work together if I pair these? And if I have an all poison team, I get a bonus, and this guy's a fire guy, so I should probably fight them with ice people, right? So you're thinking about all this strategy, all this tactics, and the game actually has some depth to it. It starts to give you this camp where you can cook and you can get buffs and you can do all these different things that you're managing. There's charisma checks, you know, like it's a Dungeons and Dragons game. So if you're trying to trick a character, you've got to pick which one you want to use, and can I beat them with this roll, and all the stuff we'd expect. Like even like I guess I beat a talking dog on a charisma check, so I got to open the secret chest, and I'm like, I'm kind of
What
into
was
this
his marital
story.
status?
I think he was single.
Okay.
But he was very
Not
loyal
divorced.
to his owner.
He wasn't a
but I
divorced
tricked
dog?
him. I said, where's your owner? I said, if this is really your owner, where is he? Does he even exist? And the dog was like, wait a minute.
That's
and
deep.
I beat this. Yeah, it's deep. Because I was smarter. I outsmarted the dog. And then he let me open the chest. So everything you do like has the little checks and all that, and when you're doing attacks, you roll for them. So like I said, it's very much a D&D game. So there's a lot of cool things in the game. Like there's a little creepy kid that's an AI bot that you can talk to and ask anything. So like, how do I do this in the game? Or what is the lore of the dragon in the game? I've never really seen a game implement, I'm sure tons have them and I'll hear from you guys, but I can't personally remember right now like an AI character in a game that built into like the lore. It was almost like this creepy, there is no spoon Matrix style kid. And you talk to it and you ask it questions. And that was really kind of unique too. The thing that got me, though, is I started looking at some of the actual Steam reviews, which are mixed, by the way, and I get it, because people on PC don't want this sort of mobile setup where every day you're going in and collecting and trying to buy, they're trying to get you to get characters. You know,
right, you get the daily unlock rewards or whatever.
And I get why we pull away from that on PC, but I did see a lot of people saying stuff like, well, ignore my 122 hours in the game, I mostly did it on the phone, and it's like, I don't want to have to spend money in this game, bad game. And it's like, well, if you played it for 122 hours.
Give
maybe
them
buying
$10
that starter pack for
like,
$4.99 wasn't the worst thing ever. But I do agree they try to capitalize on people, the whales, whatever. They want to get you spending $500 a month and all that stuff. And I'm not down with that scene. I'm never going to do that, right? I've spent money on games that I play for years, like World of Warcraft or Path of Exile and stuff, but you're not going to get me to do that. But I feel like for me, playing this game, I didn't feel the pressure to spend a lot of money. I'd probably pick up some $10 pack maybe to support them if I did end up wanting to play this for 50 hours. But I do think Dragonair Silent Gods is a pretty cool experience, but like I said, keep in mind, I'm playing ultra wide on PC and it looked great. The cutscenes looked great. The voice acting was great. Like, these games are very high budget and very AAA feeling, very almost a old Blizzard presentation on this, where it feels like it's a AAA studio. And I didn't look into who did this one, but a lot of them are Korean studios.
Studio, and the only game they have on Steam, at least, is this. But they also did... Actually, this looks like their only game.
Really? Well, I'm really impressed with what they made. I mean, obviously they have the D&D license, and
so, Michelle, can you back up? This is an Android app, is it?
Yeah, I believe it's on iOS, it's on Android, it's on Steam.
She's using the Google
Play beta.
Google Play. Matt, I sent you links to this, by the way, that you ignored.
Okay, calm down. Google Play Beta.
I kind of skipped over it. So yeah, Google Play Beta is basically a BlueStacks or an Android emulator officially from Google.
Not BlueStacks.
Well, BlueStacks is an Android emulator. That's basically what Google Play is, an official one from
them.
No,
I know, but BlueStacks is a different beast.
She's using it to explain what it is.
I'm using it to explain what it is. And basically behind the scenes, right? There's obviously emulating in some way, right, an Android app, but they've done so in a way where the games are curated right now because I think they really want to make sure it works well. Because like I said, a lot of the games I ended up trying did have WASD support, did have full resolution support. Things didn't look blurry. Everything
now I tried this
like
before
it was made for PC.
Because I did Call of Duty Mobile on my PC a few years ago. And I guess I used BlueStacks. I don't remember how the fuck I did. I also played one of those Chinese battle royales on my PC.
I mean, I've used BlueStacks. I played
with mouse
Rumble
and keyboard support, and that's kind of Google. So BlueStacks, and there's also something called Game Loop. They're a little gray area, ad crazy.
Yeah, there's some ads. I think you pay to get rid of them.
Yeah, I know. I don't really trust those, to be honest, but I didn't.
So this is similar to if you have an M1 or later Mac, you can run iOS apps, iPhone and iPad apps on your Mac. Actually, I tried this, but it's not curated. The curated thing might make sense because
that's Google.
I understand that, and I'm saying maybe Apple should be curating which iPhone apps you can run on Mac because they did a good job of this thing called Rosetta, which basically allows an iOS app to run on the Mac architecture pretty much automatically. Everything maps has menu system and everything. But there's every now and then there'll be something a little off, or I just tried our game, John, Chainsaw Zombie Slaughter, and it actually runs great. It looks good, but it's you can't tilt, so you can't move.
Because we have motion controls on that. Yeah.
So we would have to account for that and detect keyboard. We'd have to do small tweaks to make it work there. But it sounds like this is something like that. Then maybe this Google thing.
Yeah, and I don't think, Google is obviously well known for abandoning things at the Google graveyard, but I don't know if they're going to do that here because I do think there is potential with these apps doing a lot of this PC mobile crossover thing. There's obviously people that want to play apps on the PC. And, you know, I would have poo-pooed it in the past. I would say I have no interest, but I kind of feel like I'm happy I have this installed because I just feel like there's games that I may not have seen or ever played, even if it's for 10 minutes while I'm eating lunch. Like, I feel like I'm in another world because I don't generally take out my iPad or my phone and play mobile games. I just don't. But I might open this up on my desktop. I might take a look at what's going on. I might have
But
this
there's,
running
you know, they're
while-
releasing giant games on, like the Genshin Impact, wasn't that? Like that's a massive game that's on mobile and.
Yeah, but it's also on PlayStation. I mean, and
I
like
know,
this
but-
game, this Dragon Air game
shoulder.
is also on PC. I'm not totally getting what you
Well,
get
I mean,
from
there's
this
some
yet.
games that are only on, the only way to play them on your PC is going to be through an emulator like this. Or so, like, this might be a bad example because,
Yeah.
yes, you can do it on Steam, but that's a rarity. I mean, but, so, like, this other game, Cookie Run Kingdom, that I want to talk about. This is a Korean game, AAA mobile game. Like, I'm talking voice acting, cutscenes, the art is amazing. Like, this needs to be a cartoon.
Cookie Run?
I really Cookie Run Kingdom. There's a couple of Cookie
I know.
Run
It
games.
looks like the little from Shrek, the little gingerbread man.
Like, it was hilarious. Like, it had a sense of humor. Like, I could see this being a movie. Like,
They
there were
ripped
cake
off
hounds
Shrek,
and
Michelle.
They okay, well, whatever they did, like, it was so polished.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's this big story where you're joining forces, you know, with the cookies to try to take down, you know, the bad people, and the dark, you know, dark cacao cookie is there, and Holly Berry is there, and all these, you know, just really, like, it's a huge game, and you get it, and it starts like getting bigger and bigger as you're playing, because basically you are attacking kind of in a turn-based, like much like the last game. You're clicking on attacks, you attack, but you have this whole cookie town that you manage, this cookie kingdom that you manage. So it's almost like real-time strategy going on. So you plop down gingerbread houses, and now your gingerbread guys can make axes. So you're making axes so you can expand your area more. And you're just kind of building this cookie kingdom, and then you go out and fight. So there's like a loop to it.
Wow.
And yes, it has a lot of that. What, John?
No, this must be big because I'm looking right now. There's a Monopoly,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
The property
a
seems like it's got
physical
a lot of
Monopoly
potential.
game in Korea with this property.
Okay.
So this
Yeah.
must be very popular in Korea.
I could tell. I obviously I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the company, but like I played this and I was like, this kind of seems like an IP that needs to go somewhere. I was like really impressed with everything: the art, the music, the voice acting, the cutscenes, the presentation, the fighting. But so this was another thing. I think the only place you can play it off, you know, your mobile device would be on the PC with, or maybe you can do it with the kind of Apple thing that Matt was talking
Well,
about.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
called
I'll check if
Run
you can, but
Kingdom.
I see it's 3 gigabytes on the iOS App Store.
Yeah. So, well, the other game I played was 9. I mean, these games are getting big.
Okay,
So
man.
this game, I mean, I would have
Extending
totally
my
loved this
reach.
as a kid. Like, I mean, I even kind of liked it now, but like, it
What's
was
the
kind of
gameplay,
simple, like the
Michelle?
fighting.
They got me pinned,
So yeah,
bro.
so
They
you're
got me
running around. There's
pinned.
kind of two. You're like at your kingdom or you're off fighting. So it's basically like Super Mario Brothers 3. You're running around this board, and there's kind of like little zones that you go into, right? That you need to take down, like level 1, 3. You
Right.
go into there, you run
Overworld
around.
map, as the kids call
Yes,
it.
you run into a bunch of cake hounds or a bunch of evil cookies or whatever. The cake witch, she's a bitch. You gotta watch out for her. So you, Hans keeps going. They ripped off Shrek. That's okay. They don't even know about Shrek in Korea. They're happy to play this.
Did you say Holly Berry?
Yes. So
She's
I
in
thought
this?
this was really funny. They have a dark cacao cookie who's a black dude. They have pure vanilla that's a white paladin, and then they got Halle Berry that's like a mixed cookie. And you can only get away with this shit.
Wait, they're literally
It's
calling it
fun.
Halle
It
Berry?
was funny.
Oh,
Or
it's Holly Berry. cookie, right?
Holly Berry or
Oh,
something
oh,
like that. All these cookies have funny names. Like there's a spicy cookie that's like a redhead that's crazy. Like they're just funny. Like they're just kind of fun, crazy cookies that like you want to collect because you bake the cookies with the gacha because it's called cookie gacha, and then you bake the cookies and you figure out which cookie you got. So anyway, John, it's like a fighting game. Okay, so you're clicking on attack. So I've got a healer in the back, and I'm clicking on that, and then I'm clicking on my attack at the front, and I'm trying to kind of just move through it. And you can automate a lot of it. Like I say, I guess people really like this automation thing on phones. To me, like it makes it not a game if you can fully automate everything. You're not really doing anything.
I noticed this, by the way, a couple of the games I
Yes.
played, the auto fire or auto attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
That's because of shitty controls. That's
right,
it.
the
that's
way,
true. That's true.
This is a better example, Michelle, because this game is not on PC or Mac, but I just
Okay.
installed it, and I'm running it on my Mac now from,
Okay.
the iOS app.
Yeah, so this game I thought was really cute, and like you're so either going out fighting or you're managing your cookie kingdom. You're building up. You can decorate, you can drop buildings. So it's got these kind of two modes where you're building, you're out fighting, and you're collecting all your cookies, and you're following along with a silly story. Like I said, if I was younger, I would have loved this as a kid. I would probably put hundreds of hours into it, and I could see why mobile games are kind of attractive to young people because they're really quality now, and they're different than something you've probably experienced, right? Like out there on Steam. Like you probably never see this game on Steam, but you actually could. Like I could see this going somewhere. But once again, these mobile elements of the game sort of get in the way for me, and none more so than a game I played called AFK Journey because I saw it everywhere.
Me too.
Oh, good. Yeah, I downloaded
this
that.
game
but I didn't try
is
it.
all over Twitter right
This
now.
game
I want
is
to hear this.
everywhere, right? They're pushing it on Twitter. They're pushing it on websites. Get your AFK Journey codes and plug these codes in. I'm like, and then I look it up. It's the #1 Google app. It's the #1 RPG on iOS. It's like very popular.
BlueStacks
So
is pushing this too. Like it's
Yes.
like it's like literally fucking everywhere. Tell me about
Right.
this game. Was it worth
So
it?
here's the thing with this game. Once again, AAA quality, like really impressed with everything, the visuals, the acting, the voices, but this game got in the way of itself for me where I could not play it. Now I played this game on my 12.9-inch iPad. I did not play it on the Google Play, so I actually wanted to do something physically mobile. And for me, mobile is my iPad, okay? And so it is basically where you're running around. It has this like Disney-esque kind of presentation. And every moment, you are bombarded with menus and pop-ups and get to the store and get this currency and, get this character to do this. And so it's another sort of clicking around and fighting type thing, but, it got in the way of itself for me that I don't understand why people are going apeshit about this game. So I couldn't
But
play
are
more
they
than,
going
like,
apeshit or
Are
is
they,
it
or
just
is
a
it
good
a good
marketing
marketing
campaign? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's true. I mean, look, it's got decent ratings. I'm looking at it right now, like 80,000, 4.7. And so, there are cool things about it. When I was actually out there fighting with my team, and following the story and stuff, because that was all really well done. Like I said, I can't complain about the combat. I can't complain about the fighting and all that stuff. When I was out there actually getting to play this game in this sort of, group turn-based fighting game, I kind of liked it. But it was too much. The tactical battles were too far and few in between of all of the other stuff that you have to do. It was like, if you had 5 minutes to turn this game on, all you'd be doing was checking your menus because there'd be a red dot by them. Like, this was a typical example of a mobile game where, for me, I don't want to open up and look at a red dot on 100 menus.
right.
Like, it was too much. It was in the way. But if you don't mind that shit, and once again, really well done. Like, very, very, very quality. Like, and that
So
is
here's
what
the question. So
continually impressed me
you have a
here.
game like this where obviously there's huge resources behind it.
Yes.
Why not just put this on Steam too, or a PC?
Well, here's why. Because when something is a mobile game versus a PC game, people have a different acceptance rate of what they will allow for, like I said, those
I know, but
microtransactions.
Apple is
If they
taking a
do this-
giant cut of all of those transactions, right? Like comparatively.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to put this on Steam and not have like the ability to buy all these heroes every second and do it. Like, you have to be very careful with that. Like, a few games have pulled it off, like Genshin Impact and stuff, and people just accept it as part of it. But take a look at this Dragon Air Silent Gods game I played. On Steam, it got shit on. It's got mixed reviews. People are like, get this mobile shit off the Steam store. We don't want this shit. We don't want to be told we got to buy this and that, and every second to do this, we're being pushed this store. But on mobile, people accept it. And they're trying to merge the markets, and it's kind of a dangerous thing in a way. Because, while certain things seem okay, you don't want every PC or console game to become a mobile market. You don't. You don't want that where it's all
I'm
about
with you. I don't like
daily
this world.
logins.
But that is the free-to-play model, though, right? And
Right,
Yeah, but
that took
it's
over.
different,
and,
though.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Is
do
it
you
because,
think
like, on
do you
PC
think Fortnite is mad?
Fortnite's not like this.
it's
John,
all
have you
cos-
played a mobile game where there's 100 menus with red dots to check on every day and collect with your daily
Yeah.
login? Like, it's
Yeah,
not
and you
even
have
the
so
same
many
as a free
hearts that you have to.
Yeah,
wait
it's
for
it's
and-
completely different. There's like a bunch of currency exchanges that they specifically
or the
try to
game
change, like
won't
trick
allow you to play anymore today unless you buy
Right.
some
Right,
currency.
exactly.
Those games
That's
are forcing you to
different.
grind,
Yes.
and
Right.
I don't want to do that. I don't have time for that. Like I want
No,
to pay
I've
for
had games
But I
where
like
I
it
can't think of a specific example, but I've
The
had games where it
mobile
literally
mod-
says you can't play anymore today. You're out of
Right.
the currency
Right.
to allow
yeah,
you to
so
do
this is
what.
not. This is way more egregious than a typical Fortnite or
Yeah.
free-to-play game where they're asking you to go into a battle pass or doing some of the things that we all have mixed feelings about. The actual true mobile model, which I felt AFK Journey had, so much to the point where I couldn't even play the. I wasn't playing. I was going through menus. Every time I turned it on. That we don't want that to. Every console and PC game, we don't want to feel like a mobile game. That's the downside of mobile, where I don't want the practices to go into it, where that sort of concerns me. But the good side of it is there's a lot of really quality stuff there. You can now play it on your PC, a lot of them, or your MacBook. You can now even go and play something like Death Stranding on there, or Assassin's Creed, where it really just becomes the screen you're playing it on. We're getting into this world where it's all merging. I think things like Stardew Valley are out on it, or even little games that are everywhere. Slay the Spire.
But the
a good
reason
game
that's
that
happening is because
Right.
the hardware in your pocket is becoming
is catching up.
as
Right.
powerful
Right,
as
so that's my question.
Yeah.
Will eventually everything be an app and it'll just be the phone? Will the hardware in the phone ever
Yeah.
catch up to desktop? Because it seems like it is, but then again, desktop is always still a couple generations ahead.
It
Like,
is,
I can
but
do stuff
because
with my
gaming is-
4090,
Yep.
But I shared something with Michelle.
Yeah.
Like, there's this new fiber optic
next time.
technology that's coming out that's
Sports
1.2
so
million faster. 1.2 million times faster than the
Well,
average
here's the thing.
broadband.
Gaming is so
But-
mass
but
market
if-
right now. The
Yeah.
average gamer, though, wants to play. Like, we've been hearing this all along. Like, console exclusives are dying. Nobody wants to put
Yeah.
things in one place. The average gamer wants to play on the go in their pocket, especially the average younger gamer. If you're under 25, you're not as averse to, a mobile game or a mobile app. You grew up with it. You're fine with it. So the younger generation kind of wants to be able to pick up and play their games everywhere, and they're kind of more open to this. And so,
These guys
look, I don't think
think they're so
console and PC gaming are going away, but the mobile infestation, I think, is going to keep merging a bit more.
Matt,
not
I mean,
just with
eventually there'll be no.
technology.
Eventually, hold on, John. We'll have quantum computers or something, right? So the size won't
Yeah.
matter, and
Right.
what's the phone in your pocket will be pretty much as powerful as any computer ever made, right? At that point, then that's the only device you have. Like,
Right, but
you
you're
don't need
limited to
any
the
other
controls. Yeah, you can grab a controller. but
Right.
here-
Well, you
but the
plug it into
problem
a
I have-
dock.
Yes, it's just
But
like, or
Matt,
you
didn't
dock it to a
Apple
mouse and-
recently say that their new iPhones or M1 chips or M2, whatever, are like
M3.
gaming, like juggernauts? Like,
That's not what's holding mobile gaming back. It's the predatory practices, the models that
Okay.
they've already set in stone. That's my
Sick.
problem with mobile gaming. It's not that they're not powerful. People are playing on shitty old Switches and enjoying themselves, okay? The problem is a lot of the games are designed around the fact that you have 2 minutes, you're pulling it out of your pocket, you're tapping. That's
Yeah.
what they're designed around. So you're not going to get that sort of great experience. Now, some games can work really well with that, like the grid style games, a tactics style game, where a mouse is very similar to dragging your finger and tapping. So it's not all bad. But I'm saying you've got to kind of go into this knowing that not all mobile games are created equally. There is a huge gap here with like what games can be. They can be, like you said, John, an Apple Arcade game where you wouldn't even know it's a mobile game.
Right.
Or they could be Stardew Valley where you go buy it for $9. It's
well,
the
like
same
that
experience you might have.
Japanese garden game, whatever
Yes,
you liked.
exactly. Or it can be where it's like,
there
what
it
the
is
hell is
there.
going on? I can't even play this game. They're popping up every second, and it's just out of hand. And so Diablo Immortal was kind of like that too. They got pressured. They released a PC version, and then people got pissed off about it because they're like, well, this is just a shitty mobile game with pop-ups and telling me to spend every second, and we don't want this on PC. So it's a very kind of weird thing. So I want to move on quickly. Not technically a mobile game, but I just want to bring it up fast because Botany Manor, it could actually be a mobile game, and I think it will be a mobile game. It's a game that feels like a mobile game, so it reminds me a bit of The Witness Lite, and The Witness is actually out on mobile. It's out on PC and mobile and maybe console. It's like an adventure game where you solve puzzles, almost like a New Age Riven or Myst. So Botany Manor just came out today on Game Pass. I played the demo yesterday on Steam. I actually kind of think it's worth looking at. So you are solving very, very light, basic puzzles, and the catalyst for those are trying to figure out how to grow flowers. So you find a seed. How do you make this seed grow? I have to do research on it. It needs this temperature.
Now, this
it
sounds a
needs to-
lot like that game I talked about that you kind of just told me to shut the fuck up.
Should make things
Do
easier.
you remember
It's
that
nothing
game?
like-
What's that?
Yeah, it's not like Strange Horticulture at all.
Yeah,
this is an
okay.
adventure game.
Yeah.
Where you're roaming around trying to solve puzzles, but the catalyst is that you're growing flowers. It could be anything. They're just using that as a way. So you're walking around this beautiful manor with flowers, you're finding seeds, you're finding a story. So it's a game that's kind of like very, if you play the Witness or the Talos Principle, if you like these sort of wandering around solving puzzles, like I said, old school Riv and Miss type stuff, that's what this feels like. But the very, very simple puzzle solving where you can figure it out. But it was kind of just beautiful, and I do think they'll be putting this on mobile, and this is an example of a game that could be really good on mobile. You know, I used to play these games called The Room. I'm sure you've heard of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure there's 10 by now.
Like
and The Room is a puzzle
Like
game.
Colin Reed.
Yeah, The Room is a cool puzzle game. And so some puzzle games can work well, and some grid-based games can work well. But the shooter thing is what I'm curious about, because I know Matt played Warzone, so we're going to get into some actual, like, what does a shooter feel like on mobile?
Now people on Steam said this game's, is it like Myst? Is it kind of that vibe?
Yeah, that's what I said, like Riv and Miss type stuff,
Oh,
right?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so
All
it's
right.
just an adventure game, and it's so I do recommend Botany Manor. Try the demo on Steam or go play it on Game Pass. I think like it's really pretty, and you're going to be solving some puzzles, but you have to kind of be ready to play something with flowers. So sorry,
Or democracy, oh shit.
but it was kind of. It did tap into my girliness for a bit, because I was like, oh, that's really pretty. I want to live in this manor. I was like, damn it, they got me. I was taking screenshots and shit. And then I've just been playing Path of Exile, which is not a mobile game. So that has been my week, and I'm just drinking water. All right, John, what did you do over there? Because you have an Apple TV.
I actually kind of had fun doing this because I wanted to spend as much time on my Apple TV as I could, because I pay for the Apple
Oh my
Arcade
God.
thing.
Nope.
I don't even know what that costs. I think I had it maybe free. I don't know, but whatever. So I just kind of went through Apple Arcade, just looking for things I've never noticed before, and looking at the charts. And yes, Matt, giraffes matching zoos in the top 50, ahead of.
With zero sales.
With zero sales,
So
which
what are
tells
they
you
telling what's
something.
going on with the
I mean,
Apple?
right now, a game that Matt and I
think it was
made.
like 2. Not,
Yeah, a
but
game
go
that
on.
Matt and I made like 10 years ago is beating Binding of Isaac on the Apple TV. Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
this tells you that-
Isaac
What?
had more than 2 sales. That's something wrong.
No, this tells you that Apple has failed at even letting people know that you can game on the Apple TV.
I agree with that. I think
That's true. Yeah.
Because I think most people are buying the Apple TV for TV. So, but if you're not aware, it's actually a pretty okay gaming system. Okay,
They need to have like, you know how when you first turn it on, it starts with a couple of default icons like the TV one. The second one should be games, and it should go Apple Arcade. And this thing should come with a controller.
Yeah,
and then
it
like
should.
they would
Yep.
be, a kind of a competitor in the console market almost. Not quite,
Yeah.
but like if they just included
yeah,
a
because
controller,
there's
it's so frustrating.
there's some games I've played on there, like the new Sonic game, fantastic. That Japanese garden game Michelle
Yeah.
played. I
loved it.
played that too on Apple
Yep.
TV with a controller. If you were to tell me it was the Switch or the Xbox or the Apple TV, I wouldn't know. Right? It was that good.
Yeah.
Right? For that kind of lo-fi graphic game, But so I tried some stuff. I'm just gonna go through everything. Some stuff I played longer than others, but I dabbled. Okay, so. This game called UFO on Tape caught my eye. I don't know why. It's kind of like an AR, VR style game, but not. It has control. All these games have controller support, by the way, on Apple TV, obviously. And this game basically is kind of like almost like a tech demo to me.
Oh, no.
You're basically going on these little like roller coaster rides, trying to take photos of UFOs. Kind of a gimmicky tech demo-y thing. I didn't really find it very interesting, and I deleted it. And then I tried this Puyo Puyo puzzle game, Michelle, which is an Apple Arcade exclusive, this version of it. Now, this game has been around for a
That's
very long time.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, isn't that an old arcade
It is a
game?
very-
It's called
something like
Puyo
that.
Puyo Puzzle Pop.
It
It's
is, yeah.
a new Apple Arcade exclusive.
Right, but this is a game that's been around forever, okay? And it's very much, I don't know who's first here, but it's basically Dr. Mario. If you guys are familiar with that arcade game or NES game. It's a puzzle game where you're just rotating these colored blobs, and you're just lining them up. And Dr. Mario, they're pills. In this, they're blobby little creatures. And it's very much a Dr. Mario type game. But what they're doing in this one is they're trying to tell some story with an overworld and characters, like Michelle, Super Mario 3, like you said. You're basically going through an overworld, completing levels, and then they're trying to tell you this story in between the games. But at the end of the day, it's just a fucking puzzle game, and I really was bored to tears playing this. It did nothing for me. Now, I guess there hasn't been one of these games in 10 years, a decade, and this is the first one. I don't know why it's a Apple Arcade exclusive, but it is. But you know, these are probably timed exclusives. This is not a reason for me to have Apple Arcade. I think that Sonic game is. And then I tried a game called Puzzle and Dragon Story, which I liked quite a bit. Now, I believe I played or owned one of these games on the DS. Is that possible? I'm looking it up right now.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I did. This is a game that's been around, this series. There was actually a Super Mario edition of this game. This is another puzzle game, but it's like an RPG. And my understanding is that like this game elsewhere, like on the phone, Michelle, has all kinds of microtransactions and shit. This does not, okay? Instead, there's a crafting mechanic. And what this game is there's like a story being told. It's an RPG game. There's kind of a Pokemon element where you're capturing or collecting all of these creatures that have all these special abilities. And you're competing against the AI team of monsters. And the way you attack is by doing this kind of Bejeweled type game where you're matching colors and stuff. But you'll have like a red monster, a green monster, a blue monster on your team, and if you can do a match with red or green or blue jewels, it will activate the corresponding monster. And then the monsters all have different abilities and buffs and timed just kind of attacks that are unique to them. And so you're trying to basically make this team of monsters, and you have like a team that you're constantly building and tweaking and changing out. It's like, oh, this guy has this buff every 5 rounds. He can heal my team 80% every 5 rounds. This monster can change the entire left column to all red jewels every 5 rounds.
How does it feel playing Bejeweled on a screen with a controller? 'Cause that's like a phone game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I didn't love it, but I liked the game. So you because with this game, it's not quite Bejeweled. You can take any jewel and slide it up, down, left, and right across the entire grid of jewels, right? You're not limited to like one single move. So you take a jewel and you slide it up 5 and to the left 4, and then you're displacing all the other jewels, which then creates all these crazy combinations. And if you have like 5, 10, 15 matches in a row, like your attack is just like out of control, and you just level the entire team. So you're trying to make multiple combos in one move. This is a really good game. And I know I had this game on the DS or something somewhere else. It's a solid game. Again, no microtransactions, no pressure to any of that stuff. And the crafting thing, basically, as you defeat the monsters, they drop these like cards that you can then combine to create new monsters for your team. And it's almost like a Pokemon thing where you're kind of trying to get them all, and then just make the best team you can to go out. And then there's bosses. You're basically doing dungeons, and each dungeon's like maybe 5 levels with a boss at the end. It's a great game. It really is. I recommend it, actually. And it's everywhere. It's not just an Apple Arcade thing. This version is that's the thing about Apple Arcade, by the way, is they do like slight tweaks to the game and say it's an exclusive. Like Dead Cells is an Apple Arcade exclusive. No, it's not.
I saw that. It's like Dead Cells Plus.
Yeah, it's like they give you the...
What's Plus about it?
They give you the DLC in a package.
Is it a mobile exclusive with them only?
No, they give you the DLC, Michelle. That's all it is. It's literally Dead Cells. And I played Dead Cells...
No other platform has Dead Cells Plus.
I know, but
Gotcha.
it's called Plus because it's got the DLC in it.
Right.
Okay.
But I did play Dead Cells on my Apple TV not in the past week. It's great. Plays just like the Switch. Can't tell the difference.
Right.
Just kidding about the fucking
again,
thing. You guys are
I have the Apple TV 4K now. I know, Matt, you do too, right? Like,
It's an honor
right?
to serve with you.
Yeah.
somewhat.
yeah. I upgraded the 1080p one recently. I don't sense a huge difference, but I'm not really pushing it, I don't think. But
It's noticeably faster. It's got a much faster chip.
yeah, I think the interface and all that, but I don't feel like the games are that much better, but maybe I'm not pushing it. I don't know.
Oh my God, it's happening.
This one, Michelle, I just want to mention because I talked about before. I did install it, but I didn't play it. Is that that pocket card jockey game?
Yeah,
Remember I talked about that?
It's on the Switch too, right?
It's on the Switch. It was a 3DS game, also on Apple Arcade. So that was a game I was going to buy on the Switch because I really actually liked the demo, and I installed it over the weekend but didn't play it. But that's
like a poker horse racing game or something.
Yes, it's a poker horse racing game made by the creators of or the developers of Pokemon. So there's some Nintendo juice in there. I just found it interesting that that's in there. You know, it's made by Game Freak, which is the developer for Pokemon for Nintendo. And they're part owner of Pokemon, I guess. All right, and then
that's the thing, especially when looking at Switch stuff. Like, you're getting a lot of these things that are just out on the Switch. On the Switch, and here's like $30, and here they're just free on the Apple Arcade.
Yeah, they're just totally free. Like,
yeah.
I want to mention this game. I didn't play as much as I wanted to, but I was really impressed with it. It was called Hero-ish, and this is like a MOBA, and the art style is very much World of Warcrafty, kinda.
Yeah.
And it's a side-scrolling MOBA, which is a little different. There's not a lot of lanes, Michelle. You know,
yeah, how are
you like the lanes, right? Like, there's not a lot of lanes.
Well, Hero-ish is also on Steam, by the way. There's a free demo right now you can play.
Yeah, I actually rather like this game, and I wish I played more, but I just ran out of time. I was trying
It's $10 on Steam, free demo, has positive reviews.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a MOBA.
It is.
But I guess
No,
some sort of tower defense.
It's a side-scrolling, single-lane MOBA. And basically, like, you're deploying...
It's not a MOBA unless there's a jungle and there's
What?
You know. I just take issue with calling it a MOBA, that's all.
It's a MOBA.
I don't think it is.
I saw people calling it a MOBA. Yeah, Hero-ish is a fun MOBA deck-building adventure.
It's not a MOBA.
Yeah, man.
Hero-ish is a blend of MOBA and card game. Okay, here. This article says it's a side-scrolling MOBA light.
Sure, it has MOBA elements. I'm just saying, when you said MOBA on mobile, I'm thinking, okay, you're playing League of Legends. Okay, so you played with the controller.
I did, and it was good.
And you had a good time.
I did like it. So, like, the thing about this game is that when you're deploying, like, your troops or whatever, your attack squads, or you're basically playing cards, and they, like, deploy out of your main character, and you're just kind of side-scrolling left and right, going up, oh shit, a tower, oh my god, quickly deploy archers, quickly deploy, you know, sword guys, and you just kind of sit in the back and let them do their thing. It's like an auto battler in that way, you know?
Right.
And you're getting all these cards that are giving you more options to deploy things, but visually, I was kind of really impressed with it, especially on the Apple TV. I do recommend that. It's $10 on Steam?
$10 on Steam, free demo. Yep.
Yeah. All right, and then the last game I want to talk about. Okay, I do want to mention I tried playing Warzone Mobile using BlueStacks. Warzone Mobile is not on Google Play Beta, which was a bummer.
Okay. Well, Matt played it. He's going to talk about it. So you played
didn't want
Mighty
to try it
Doom,
on
right?
your phone.
What's that?
You didn't want to try it on your phone?
No, I did. Again, it's just a time thing. I literally tried last night for like a half hour to get it to work on BlueStacks, and every time the game launched, it crashed. And there's a bunch of videos on YouTube with supposed tutorials how to make it work on BlueStacks.
Right.
Yeah.
And every single video, I think it's one guy that's putting these videos out. He never shows the game actually working. He's just like, he's like, here's what you do: install BlueStacks, download this. Install.
Dude, that's a brilliant business idea. Like you find a major tech problem.
Yes.
And you say, here's the solution.
Yeah.
But then you put all these videos out, but you don't really solve it.
And if you look at the comments on the video,
that's free money.
And the comments on every single video this guy's released is like, what the fuck, dude? Are you ever gonna show the fucking game running? This doesn't fucking work. None of the things you say are working, right? Because you can install BlueStacks. You can install Warzone Mobile through BlueStacks. Actually, BlueStacks directs you to the Google Play Store. You have to log into your Google account to download the fucking executable, in which I would not do. So I created some bullshit account.
So let Matt talk about it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
What did you
as far as I can tell, it does not work. So I went back to the Google Play beta on PC, and I installed Mighty Doom, which I was actually excited to try. Now, this is a top-down shooter game published by Bethesda. This is a Microsoft game, okay? I've seen Microsoft advertise this fucking game, okay? And I actually really dig this game. It's kind of a roguelite. I think it is a roguelite. You're basically controlling this little Funko Pop-looking cartoony Doomslayer guy, right? And it's level after level of you basically just trying to kill everybody on the level, and after you do, you go to the next level, and each level gets progressively a little bit harder. And then there's very simple controls. It is auto fire. On the PC, the WASD is great to control the character.
What's the aspect ratio? Is it like a phone?
Top
or do they
down. It's top
landscape
down.
it?
It's top down 2D.
Right, but the aspect ratio.
Oh, okay. On my PC, yeah, it's vertical, Michelle. You know.
Yeah, because I was playing, like I said, full 21:9.
Not this game. No.
34-inch. Okay.
But on my phone, though, and this could be my fault, but I play this on my phone too. On my phone, it filled my screen a lot better than the little window I had on the PC. But I was still playing vertically on both.
Yeah, I played this too, by the way.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So I actually enjoy this game quite a bit. Matt, I don't know what you thought about it, but
yeah, it was like really well done.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun. I found it was not very hard, but then once I got pretty far into it, it finally started to, I finally started to actually get hit by things.
Yeah, and again, like a roguelite, you do get like permanent upgrades, which are kind of meaningful. And there is a whole mobile thing here, Michelle, where they're trying to get you to buy currency to get chests and open them up and all that shit.
Yeah, you expect a little of that, but there are some games where it goes crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle about it. It's only like after you finish an entire episode.
Right.
Yep.
But here's my big takeaway with this. This is my thought about this game. I think this is a really good game. I like it actually a lot. I am disappointed there's no cross progression between PC, Google Play, and my phone, at least.
But it should if you log in with the same Google
I did,
account.
Michelle.
Okay, because one of the games told me it did. It might be a per game thing then.
Because I played this on my PC a bunch last night.
Account, though, maybe.
And even on my phone, I got a pop-up saying that your account is now linked to Doom, right? But that was from I initiated that on the PC, and my phone told me this, right? And I'm like, okay, great. So when I play this on the phone, it's going to continue. It didn't do that. I didn't look into it. I didn't investigate
I bet
it.
if there was like a Bethesda login,
Yeah.
because you'd be able to, because like Diablo Immortal, for example, if you play the PC version,
Right.
like the mobile version, you can log in with your BNet account.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this. On the phone, it's not as good as the PC. This game clearly wants to be controlled with a controller or WASD instead of a virtual screen controller. Which
so I played this on my phone. You know, I have a little. You know how the phones now, the iPhones have like a magnetic, thing on the back, so you can put magnet accessories. I have a little accessory that's like a
analog
folds
stick
down flat, but then you can make it a stand for horizontal or vertical. So that actually worked great for this because I just like stood it on the table and attached an Xbox One controller.
Oh, you did?
Not attached, but synced an Xbox One controller. And I played it that way. And it worked
interesting.
great.
Yeah. The touchscreen
Definitely
not
a
so
controller
good.
game.
So this is my big takeaway though. Why the fuck is this not on Xbox? This game would actually kill on Xbox.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
It really fucking would. It's cute, it's quirky, it's Doom, it's Bethesda,
well,
it's
there are
Microsoft.
billions of people on mobile and not that
But
many
Michelle,
on Xbox. It's not
Microsoft
worth it for
needs
them
to
put, it there.
put this kind of shit on the Xbox. I really
agree,
think people would
but-
talk about it.
But yeah, what if there's only like 3 hours of actual content?
that-
What if you can speed run the game in 3 hours?
I
People
thought
would
that
lose
too.
their mind.
I thought the
people on
same.
Be
Xbox
like
would say, "You're trying to
$40
sell
for
me
3
gems?"
hours.
No,
Go
just
suck
throw it
yourself.
on Game Pass. No harm, no foul, right? Like,
Game Pass
Yeah.
with no pay to win type stuff
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
I had the same thought though. What if you exhaust all the content in a few hours, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it's a perfect little Vampire Survivor, not like the same gameplay, but in that kind of vein of a game, like a shooter kind of a thing,
I like how they
I don't think it's
incorporated
anything
like
like
the new mechanics, sort of, that they added in the new Doom games. The legit Doom games. How like when you kill something, it'll glow. and
Yeah,
then you
the
go
final
melee it,
blow.
and you
Yeah,
get-
the
and you
glory
get
kill.
health and-
The glory
Yeah.
kill at the end. Yeah, and if you do like a glory, so like you'll wound an enemy and he's just grasping for his last breath, and you could do a glory kill and he'll drop something, health or whatever, So you want to do that. Yeah, this is a cool game. I really think they're making a mistake though, not putting this on Xbox. because it wants to be a controller game. It really does. It makes complete sense. So yeah, that's.
We'll put it on Steam, but even if you
well,
charge
it's Bethesda and
$9 for
Microsoft. It makes more sense to go on Game.
Yeah, but there's not enough people that have an Xbox.
Well, Game Pass is PC and Steam. Is PC and Xbox.
I'm just saying, there's a reason they aren't doing it, and they probably don't think it's worth it, the development time with the money they're going to need.
But
they're
this
looking
is
at the markets.
okay.
And they're saying mobile. That's where the
This
people
is a
are.
very Nintendo way of handling the IP, and I really think people would like this. It's cute. It's quirky. It's a little chubby Funko Pop looking Doom guy. You know, like it's almost like a kart racer Doom game. Like it really.
It's
what?
it's brilliant too because
Yeah.
it's at the same time it's like gory. Because so when you beat
Right.
any of the little bosses,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
when you go into do the glory kill of the
you get
boss,
the-
it does
yeah.
like this
The stabbing,
special
yeah,
animation
the
where you're like
chainsaw
it's like
or
a
the-
fatality.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a misstep because I think people would absolutely lose their shit if they had easy access to this on the console. So yeah, Michelle, Matt, that's kind of what I tried.
Sounds like your Apple TV is you're paying for it every month, but
what?
it's not always worth it. The games you're getting.
No, I think honestly the Sonic game. Matt, have you tried that game?
No, I should.
Sonic
what's it called?
Dream Team,
Just
yeah. That's a great fucking Apple Arcade game. Probably the best one.
People just aren't going to buy the Apple TV to game on, and they've kind of abandoned it, and they aren't really like promoting it. I just think it's kind of like it's a shame because everybody wants that little like gaming device in their living room that can do this sort of stuff. But
Well, there's like a bunch of games coming out like soon. I just saw recently. There's 5 titles in April, and there's some in May. But I don't know.
I don't think they've abandoned it.
No.
You know, and they definitely seem to be putting more and more effort into the Apple Arcade. But the problem is, that people. I mean, I don't think people at all think of the Apple TV
as a gaming, no,
as a gaming
Yeah.
device. They
They
just
abandoned
would not
because,
cross
like,
your mind.
I used to hear about all the games that were coming out with certain developers. They got the Final Fantasy dev to make an RPG for it, and they got like somebody else do this, and like they're trickling out now. But I don't think they're like gunning for the exclusives. They're doing more cheapy stuff like Dead Cells Plus, where it's now our exclusive version. I think they've given up on the whole like this game is just made for Apple Arcade.
Right.
But because like John, you said Puyo Puyo Pop is basically just Puyo Puyo Puzzle, which has always been out there. Like if they really want to get people to do it. But it's hard to get developers to want to develop for this small market.
Right.
You know, this exclusive new thing for the small market. People have just kind of over that. They want the games to go everywhere. But I don't know. It sounds like you're happy you have it, at least.
No, I mean I use it to watch TV more than anything. But
Thank you, Cliff, for the gifted subs.
So all right, that's it for me. I'm drinking a Coors Light.
Nice.
All right, let's take a break. John,
yeah.
play your song.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
You know I can't talk to you right now. I'm playing Clash of Clans right now. You know I got the Warzone mobile. You know I got the Pokemon Go. I think down the road from me is a Pokemon stop, yo. Right down the road from me, where Marvel snapping. You know I'm unavailable, cause it's mobile, and I'm tapping right now. You know I'm unavailable, cause it's mobile, and I'm swiping right now, yeah. You know I'm kind of old school, I'm still jetpack joyriding, while you're over there candy crushing. I never liked Fortnite Mobile. Now Super Mario Run, where did you go? Come back, I missed you so. PUBG Mobile never made sense, but I can't talk now because you know I'm unavailable, cause it's mobile, and I'm tapping right now. You know I'm unavailable, cause it's mobile, and I'm swiping right now, yeah. You know I'm unavailable, cause it's mobile, and I'm tapping right now. You know I'm unavailable, cause it's mobile, and I'm swiping right now,
Your voice is annoying. That's all. I just told you what it was.
What is it?
It's mobile, and I'm swiping right now. Should have said I'm shitting right now.
MOBA.
Should have just done. Yeah, I'm in the toilet, or on the toilet, not in it.
Where's Matt?
Where's Matt's phone? He's mobile, swiping right now.
I just wanted to let you
Where'd
know
you find this whore?
that I
wanted
miss
to
you.
let you know that I miss you.
You know I can't talk to you
What's with the
right
all your songs have to have a
I know. It's like a Jay-Z.
I know. I don't like the either, and I've told him that.
I don't care.
The is weird.
It's my Jay-Z
It's too
thing.
much.
Whatever.
I know,
Yeah,
but
but it
it's
doesn't
not
sound right.
cool like Jay-Z. It's
Yeah.
Listen, I think it is.
maybe try instead of
Yeah, it's sounds like you're about to speak Yiddish to us or something.
Yeah, it's like you're a
Yeah,
military
yeah.
drill commander.
Yeah,
White
Or something like
girls, Escalades,
yeah, but it sounds
get
dorky,
paid,
instantly
get
like dorky.
laid.
Yeah, listen to Michelle.
John
Michelle's
Z.
right about this.
No, listen, it's really good. It's really good.
Look, you're 2 to 1 here.
The
Right?
I just wanted to let you know
It's not me.
Here it comes.
that I
He
miss
got a
you.
sample. I miss you. Yeah, he got like.
You know I can't talk to you right now.
John, we don't like
playing
the
class.
You got your 2 friends here telling me that the
yeah,
you're missing the mark.
I mean, it's a little cringy.
You're not gonna
is all.
listen.
It's a little bit,
It's
I
just
agree.
the way it goes.
Just all right. He's gonna do him, guys. He's not gonna change. All right, let's start.
It's the perfect way to just segue
Sure.
into
that,
it.
I can't help but think that girl's voice sounds like Lady Rainicorn from Adventure Time.
It does sound familiar.
It's a sample I found. Well, whatever.
Recording.
All right, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, Matt. I'm actually excited to hear about what you tried and where
Alright.
and how and all that business. Now, you are an iPhone guy.
Yeah, I'm an iPhone guy. I mean, I'm not like an iPhone guy in that I'm a fanboy, but it's like, yeah, I'm an iOS developer for a living, so yeah, I have an iPhone,
Yeah.
and therefore I also have a Mac because you have to develop on Macs, and so I also have a PC. Like I'm not just like an iPhone guy, whatever. But I like tech. I have everything. But anyway, right now I'm playing Sonic Dream Team on the Mac.
Oh, you
with
are?
my Xbox One controller. Yeah. During the break, I just installed it, and because Michelle kind of blew my mind here, bringing up this idea of playing the phone apps on your computer. I completely forgot that the Mac even does this. And with the Apple Arcade, there's actually a lot of good games on here. Like I installed the NBA 2K24.
Yeah, like I saw that.
Game?
Like FIFA's in there and NBA. Like
Yeah, I just played a bit of the NBA games. Pretty good. The Sonic game's pretty good. Like, and when you run the games, on the Mac that are from the Apple Arcade, like there's a separate Apple Arcade section of the Mac App Store. And when you install them and run it, like it automatically goes full screen and goes into game mode, where like it, prioritizes all the power for that and stuff like that. So it's like really well done. I don't know, kind of blow my mind that I have all these games, right here, because it's a little bit more of a pain to like use the Apple TV to play Apple Arcade games if I want to do something like with a controller, because then you have to turn on the TV.
Well, that's the thing. Is it a mobile game now? Because you're looking at a screen, you have your controller. It's a laptop technically. Like, is that a mobile game? Because I
don't know what
love
it
playing
is.
a game with a phone in my hand. You know what I mean? But yet I feel like I kind of played some mobile games. So it's getting really hazy right now.
I
with this
personally
stuff.
like the Apple TV because it allows me to do iOS type stuff without having a phone, right? Because I'm Android all day long since like.
Well, John, you have an M1 Mac. Why don't you try this on your Mac?
Because I don't see myself sitting at this Mac playing games. That seems really foreign to me. Like this Mac is
You need to
literally
put a couch in your basement.
no.
and
The
you'll
Mac
get-
is Pro Tools only. Like that's it. It's just
John, cool recording studios have a couch. You should have a couch there.
I agree. It should be brown leather with a weird stain.
No.
I don't know how it
The
got
Mac-
there.
Weird stain. I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
I'm really
it's gotta
weird
have
about
the
installing
stain.
stuff on this Mac too. It's really for Pro Tools and ops.
All right,
That's
but
it.
he's gonna go off on this. We better.
No,
just
it's
drop it.
true.
All
I mean,
right,
that's what this computer's for. It's for making music and podcasts.
Yeah.
The end.
So other things I did play. I did boot up the Apple TV and play some of these Apple Arcade games there. And I mean, You guys know I'm in the Apple Arcade too because of the Jelly Car World.
That's
soundtrack
right. You did
that
the
I
soundtrack for that, which is a great
Yeah.
soundtrack. Cliff is talking about it right now.
Nice. Yeah, that game is still in Apple Arcade. I tried it out on the TV. 'Cause before I'd only
I
played
played
it
it there
on
too, Matt.
Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh
yeah,
no,
it works great.
You're right. I played it on Steam Deck too. I think.
Oh, nice.
Because when it first came out, was it on Steam before Apple Arcade?
Same day. It was like same
okay,
day.
okay.
And if I remember correctly, like when he got approved to be in Apple Arcade, it's kind of a big deal because you know the amount of exposure you get from that is immediately huge. I think it added like 3 months to the timeline. That's because, like what you were saying, John, there's no microtransactions, all the things they've thought out, like they want it to be a pristine experience. So like, yeah, when Apple gets involved and you're in Apple Arcade, you've got to meet like a whole different set of standards and whatnot.
That's good.
You know,
though.
you can't
But
you can't have anything where it's like, oh, this button doesn't work with the controller. No, everything has to work like perfectly, and they check it all. You know.
Right.
I wish
And-
Apple would do better with some resolutions, though, because having that big iPad, I noticed a lot of things are not made for it,
That's
and
the
they're
developer,
stretched
though.
and blurry.
That's the
I know. I'm
developers.
saying I wish Apple required
Because Matt and
that
I
from the
have been
developers.
through this. I know Matt more
Right.
than me, but on our apps, we used to have to make different resolutions for every fucking screen as they came out. Like
I
I'd
know.
have to redo the art
Yeah.
like multiple times.
But I'm saying
Yeah,
Apple.
they kept changing aspect ratio too, which is annoying.
And I'd have to like
It's the-
redo all of
They
it.
don't want it to be the Wild West on the Apple Arcade, at least, and I agree
Yeah.
with that because, like I
Right.
said, playing some Apple apps on my iPad, I'm like, this looks like shit. It doesn't even fit.
That's
my
the
screen. It's
developer, not
blurry.
Apple, though.
I know that, but Apple could have a standard and requirement resolutions
Yeah.
for all their devices, John. So it's
But
Apple at the end of the day. I'm
fuzziness
saying
is
they don't-
subjective, right?
It is. But
No,
you can say
yeah,
that was
but
my
they're-
artistic choice. I wanted
Right,
it to look
because
It
in
wasn't,
the
though, because
but
I
in the
tried it on
beginning, the
different devices,
resolutions
and
were
it's
a
not
lot
the right
lower.
resolution for my screen.
The resolutions were a lot lower, but the aspect ratio was the same. So our
Right. So
files,
some
in
games do it and
theory,
some
still
games don't.
work. But now
All I'm
they're a little
saying
fuzzy.
is-
Remember, Matt?
I
We went
get
through
why
all
they
Yeah,
don't
no,
want that.
we definitely had some fuzz. We had some fuzzy times during upgrades.
We did,
yeah.
because when we started out, what was the resolution of the first iPhone? Like,
Oh God, 320 by
yeah,
yeah.
240 or something, and then suddenly it's like I have to remake all the art at 1080p or whatever, and
Yeah. Well, that's why I think the Google Play beta is
Yeah.
also kind of curated right now too, because that's the thing. When there's all these devices, is there vector art that can scale? Like,
yeah,
right, like, what is
yeah,
it?
that's a thing. But we had a lot of raster art that was
Mm-hmm.
the right aspect ratio, but the wrong resolution. So
Right.
All right. Well, we're getting technical. All right. So what else did you play?
yeah,
And the other, I was just gonna say, the other thing though that you may not think about, like with Apple Arcade, is if you're gonna be on there, you have to support like 27 different languages and countries and localizations and like right to left text. Yeah, like you've got to support the entire world all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
that's,
It's a lot of
as a
work.
developer, I think that's a huge extra bit. But anyway,
Accessibility.
on there, I tried this game on the Apple TV, Apple Arcade, Ballistic Baseball, because I thought it'd be cool to have like an arcadey baseball game. But I don't know, it was pretty bad.
oh
Like,
really?
Yeah.
It looks like
have you tried
like
that? Or,
no, it looks like RBI.
it looks like a cool old school baseball, but no, it's just it feels like a bad app. So I don't know. I didn't like that.
And by the way, Matt, I'm getting the sense that you dabbled like I did, and that is a
Yeah,
bit
well, I
of
was
a
trying
problem. Well, that's a bit of a problem,
Yeah.
though, Michelle.
Why?
A lot of these games are very superficial, kind of light.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I wanted to play like real games.
I know.
Not bejeweled.
That's
what I wanted.
I think this NBA 2K24 or that Sonic game might be closer to what
Yeah.
you're looking for.
No,
But anyway,
you
I-
can do anything. I'm just saying, I think that it's crazy the range that we get, right? You get everything from bejeweled to real, like NBA
Sonic,
2K
like the
games.
Sonic game, like the
Yeah,
Sonic
exactly.
games
Well,
are
we're gonna-
real. Yeah.
We're gonna work our way up to the real ones. But as long as we're still on the very phone-like games, one that I played
Yes.
that I actually really liked is an old game called Snake.io. Have you guys ever played it?
Oh, come on.
No, it's like a really old. It was like a meme game 6 years ago
I
or
had
something.
That,
where
yeah,
you're-
my Zen, or what was that? That Palm Pilot? I had like a Palm Pilot.
Pilot.
Or
Yeah,
something
but-
like that on it.
But Matt, that
no,
game's,
this, no,
that
no.
game's-
This is
no.
not that game. This is a new multiplayer game.
But
it's
that
like
game's
there's
being
100
pushed
people.
on Apple TV. I saw it. Like I didn't.
I know it is.
think to
That's
try
why.
it. Yeah.
That's why I tried it.
Yeah.
But I mean, actually play it because on the big screen
Okay.
on the TV with a controller, it actually was pretty fun. I think I played it for like an hour, which is a lot for a game like that. Anyway, the other thing... Okay, so then on the actual phone itself, I searched for the word Eclipse and kept scrolling through Eclipse finders until I found an Eclipse game.
Oh, look at you. Topical.
Yeah.
This is like a theme that Michelle and I would come up with.
Well, I know how you guys like to tie it all together.
What?
So, anyway, I played this game called Eclipse Rising, and it's like all Chinese text, and I kept clicking on buttons.
I don't think we
until
can
it
say that
started.
anymore, but go on.
Oh, what? Can't say.
He's just
no.
being
I mean, it's Chinese characters. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
It's kanji. So you it's so bad. Like if you were learning programming and you didn't know anything about games or like how you should make a game, like this is what you'd come up with.
Really?
It's pretty.
It looks like Pickwitch.
It's. I mean, it looks good. It looks like, oh, this will be a fun platformer, but it's like, oh my god, it's just so bad. But on the other hand, I found myself I couldn't get past the first level. I tried and tried, but it's like, I don't know. That was my Eclipse game. Probably not worth it. But then the big one that I did play Mighty Doom, which I did really like, and then the big one I played was the Warzone Mobile, whatever that's actually called.
Yeah.
What's the full name of that?
Yeah,
And,
probably just Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
Yeah.
So this I played by setting my phone on the coffee table, with the kickstand on its
And
side.
a controller. Okay, good.
And an Xbox One controller. I'm not doing touchscreen. Like I'm not a touchscreen
Yeah,
guy.
so
I can't
that
do
was
it.
my plan. I was gonna go on my deck and play this outside, and it just never happened for me. But
yeah.
And I just want to just say this, Matt, not to hijack your thing.
Yeah.
These giant games like this that get constantly updated are a bit of a problem on the phone for me.
Because they take too long to update?
Yeah, because remember Diablo Immortal, Michelle? Like, I was playing that on my phone quite a bit. Like, I would be somewhere, like, a month after the last time I played it, and Subway,
They
whatever.
load the zones separately because
And it's
like,
like,
4 gigs
okay,
or
there's a
something.
700 meg download right now, like, to play it. Like, I'm just bringing this up because...
that's a good point, because, like, on Steam, I don't have that problem because I just leave Steam running all the time, and I have auto updates on, so I never have a problem. Everything's just there.
Right.
And then, like, Apple has actually solved this for apps in that it does auto-update them in the background.
Google Play does do that. There's a setting. It's not reliable.
But these big games are putting most of their content coming from their own servers that it's downloaded separately in the game, so
the
it's
update
outside of that system.
Exactly. The update is inside the game. And you don't
and the
know
reason they do that is because they want an original download to be under the cellular limit.
So this was a game I installed, and then when I launched the game, there was a 5 gig update. Okay.
Warzone.
Yeah, but I didn't know. As far as I knew, I was updated because I downloaded it fresh from Google Play.
Right.
Now, I heard they might separate the people on controllers and keyboard as well as touch. O'Malley was saying that in the Discord. So I was going to say, like, how does this game feel? If you didn't know it was mobile and you were just looking at a screen with a controller, you would immediately know you're in a mobile game.
No way. No. It
No
felt like
way.
a real game.
Cool.
And I did feel like I might have been playing against a lot of touchscreen people. Because there were situations that in real Warzone,
bots.
like I would have got wasted.
Well,
no, it was bots initially, but then after the training thing and the first match, it was definitely real. Like I was teamed up with a guy named like Use Your Mom, and I'm like, okay, this is not a bot. Yeah,
Right.
That's a good bot.
Yeah, I mean that was my experience
there's no
when
way-
I played Call of Duty Mobile on my PC. Like,
yeah.
I was destroying people because I was on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
You're supposed to separate people. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so backing up, it did the download, but it did say you can skip the download and it'll continue and stream into the background while you're playing. So
Okay.
you don't have to.
But
get
again,
those
that's
texture
really
packs right away.
problematic because, not to like change the topic here, but like I've
No, I hear
experienced
you.
this with big games like this, where like I don't travel often, but when I do, I'm like, oh, let's play Call of Duty now.
So
And-
update your games before you go. And
Yeah,
stop
but
dropping the word
That's a pain in the
problematic.
ass. Yeah, it's
It's-
got to be
yeah,
automatic.
I know, but it's a weird thing when the game updates itself independent of the OS, like and everything else. But go on.
So yeah, I did the download thing, and then what's weird about this is I had my Xbox controller, synced to my phone, and yet it wouldn't control the game. It dumps you into this tutorial. Like, you have no menu, no way to skip this or anything, where it makes you, like,
now,
tap
did
the screen
you
here to
select in
walk
the beginning?
forward.
Because it does ask you if you've played this game before.
I did, and I select, I play a lot of shooters.
Okay, I'm wondering,
an
because
expert. Let's go.
I had those
And
questions.
it still dumped me into this freaking tutorial that you can't skip. Like, who decides to do this? Like, it's so annoying. Anyway, so you have to, like, they teach you how to walk, teach you how to pick up a gun.
Right.
It's like,
Here's
oh
how
my
you
God,
duck.
just
Here's
kill
how
me.
you...
And the controller didn't work, so I'm like, this is the hugest mistake, ever. Like, you get dumped into this game, the controller doesn't work. So I didn't think controller worked at all in the game. But then, actually, once you finally get through that tutorial and you go into a match, then all of a sudden the controller works and everything's perfect. So
Weird.
they kind of screwed that intro thing up. But yeah, you load into matches pretty quick. The graphics, the cutscenes, everything looks legit. I mean, it's Warzone, like,
Right.
And I did try airplaying it to mirroring my phone with AirPlay to the Apple TV so that I could be playing it on the big screen. But there was definitely a noticeable lag there. Like, there's no input lag because the controller's talking to the phone, but that delay between when you, like, move right and then you see it move right on the screen of, like, I don't know, 100 milliseconds or whatever is enough that it's just like, nope, can't do it. That would have been cool, but... So I just ended up playing it on my phone, and I was getting a lot of kills.
That's why I like the iPads, like I say, because I hate, because with mine, I could prop it up and play that outside, like on the deck, John. Like deck mode, you've got a great screen.
No, I know.
And when you grab that controller, it really, with the Apple Arcade, would you ever think of getting a new iPad?
I've looked at them at, like,
games.
BJ's, which is like Costco, not a blowjob store. But
I like
BJ's, John. I don't.
no, because someone like
he says that every time. I'm sure.
No. On John's show, I said.
Do you say that if a guy says, "Hi, my name is Dick"?
No, on John's show, I was saying I was
not like the penis, but short
Not
for
like the
Richard.
penis, but my name is Dick. Let me
on
explain
John's
this to
show,
you. It's
I
Richard.
mentioned that I was going around to different looking for different BJ's and people.
Yeah, well, you set yourself up for that. And you can't say I was on the BJ hunt.
Maybe some people
you
don't
can't.
realize that BJ's is like a Costco type
I think
store.
they realize.
I don't
They
know.
realize.
Is it nationwide? I don't know. Like.
Why do they name it that? We have there's and around here there's also a BJ's pub and a BBC. Like,
Yeah, the BBC.
BBC. British
Well, that's
Brewing
also
Company.
broadcast.
Yeah.
British, yeah.
Oh, there's also Berkshire Brewing Company, another BBC. I do like BBC on Cape Cod, though.
Nope, somebody clip that. Okay. Okay, I was expecting you to say like it felt really mobile-y, but it sounds like
no,
once you get
dude.
that
If I
screen
didn't
and
have a
controller-
PC, I would be playing this. Like,
okay.
it was pretty fun. It,
So
it
you
felt
get
like
the appeal of
Warzone.
maybe why some people are saying, "Hey, I play Call of Duty," and they're talking about that, right? And they're playing it that way.
No, they put a lot into this. Clearly, like, it's legit. Like, I was playing it for a while, and honestly had spells where I forgot I was on my phone.
Okay.
I was just having fun playing Warzone.
That means it's well done because sometimes you remember because of all the microtransaction pop-ups and battle pass currencies, and like if they can make you forget about it and just make you feel like you're gaming,
Right.
that's great.
And honestly, I suspect this component of Call of Duty is a big part of why Microsoft wanted it. Because I think internationally, this game's pretty big. And there's a news story we're gonna talk about too with China and Blizzard.
They're bringing Siege to mobile as well. PUBG is on mobile. I mean, a lot of people do this now.
Yeah,
It's not
Fortnite,
just-
all that.
Yep.
And my question is, a lot of people that do this, are they playing with a controller or are they really sitting there
Well,
with
I'll
their
tell you
fingers
this,
on
and
the
I told
screen?
Michelle this. During Thanksgiving, my daughter's boyfriend was with us, and he was playing Call of Duty Mobile nonstop with a touchscreen.
Fingers on the screen.
Yes, but I'll tell you this. After the trip, he ordered a controller that hooks on the phone.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he was getting frustrated with that.
I thought you were gonna say because you talked him into it, or he showed him how much
he
better-
did that on
how
his
many
own.
more kills he could get.
He did that on his own. But like, all he was doing was playing Call of Duty Mobile on the phone the entire time, like nonstop. And then he ordered a controller immediately after that trip. One of those like you know, ones that click on left and right with the little rubber band or whatever.
Yeah,
the controller is the problem to solve. And I mean, there is that cool little like side controllers you can pop around a phone.
Yeah.
But it's that one extra point of friction you create.
Yeah,
that
why
makes
is
people
but
not wanna
why
do
is this
something.
the thing that everybody seems to miss? Like Netflix, oh, we're getting into gaming, but no controller, and
Yep.
there never will be a controller.
Yep.
You know, Apple Arcade on iOS, we're
Yeah,
serious
but look
about
at
gaming,
Luna
but
and
no
Stadia.
controller.
Luna and Stadia,
Yeah,
though.
Luna.
Apple
Luna-
TV would be a console if it was bundled with
Yep.
a controller, but no controller.
But
Why
Matt,
did they-
remember
why?
you and I bought that controller that was like the Apple TV controller, whatever that was, that Logitech thing?
Yeah, the Steel Series.
Steel Series,
yeah.
yeah. But that was being pushed at the time of Apple Arcade, remember? When the Apple TV launched or whatever, it
Yeah,
had
but that-
gaming?
Yeah, but it wasn't bundled with it, was it?
No, it wasn't, but it was
No.
definitely being paired with the Apple TV. But now, when I sync
I
the
think
Xbox...
they should sell the Apple TV and then the Apple TV Game Edition, which is just,
I
it's
agree
a
with
different
you.
color, and it
Yeah.
comes with a controller, and the end, you get that.
Comes
But it's
with
a
3
legit
months of Apple
controller, like an
Arcade,
Xbox.
comes with a controller, comes with something.
Right. But,
Bundle it up.
But the thing is, they need to get a better... Like, the Apple... When you sync the Xbox controller with the Apple TV, it is literally recognized as an Xbox controller. You have the icon, you have the artwork, you have the diagram. It's the Xbox controller. It's fully integrated with Apple
Carl is
TV.
saying Apple said they didn't want to restrict anyone to one controller. People can use whatever they want. Oh, Apple's worried about restricting people to proprietary stuff. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
they,
that's
but they fully support all the controllers, and when you sync them, you get
Probably because
the
they have
icon.
to. EU will sue them.
Yeah.
But no, I agree they need
and
something
even
as
and
an
it,
option.
and in the beginning, they changed since then. But in the beginning,
Okay.
anything you put out on Apple TV as a developer, you had to support the little touchscreen remote. Like you had to be able to fully play the game, do whatever it was with that remote. So nobody's going to release a real game if you have to
Right.
support being able to use that, right?
Right.
And it also means that like yeah, you've got to just spend all this time making this horrible control version of your game. They now do allow you can submit an app that is controller only.
Right, and there's many apps I've launched that says you cannot continue unless you sync a controller.
Yeah. So they're kind of taking tiny steps in that direction, right? Because they relented on that and said, "All right, no, fine, you don't. This is not for everybody. You need you can say you need a controller."
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so Matt, what else?
I think that's everything. I would say the worst game was Eclipse Rising, and the best was Warzone Mobile. So no shocker there.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we did this. Like I said, the Google Play beta I think is cool. I think you're kind of excited about the Apple Arcade on your MacBook, and
Yeah,
like,
the
it's a
Mac thing
world
is
we
cool.
shouldn't
Like I'm
ignore.
jumping into these these Apple Arcade games like instantly, and I have an Xbox controller synced here too. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
That's not all bad, guys. I know we have a lot of, and trust me, I'm not on Team Mobile. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about it, but I think it's like there's some stuff that's redeeming about it, that it can be a part of the ecosystem. I just don't want it to be the only ecosystem, and I don't think it's going to be. But we've got some news kind of similar in the same vein here, John. I know Apple officially allows retro game emulators on the App Store.
Yeah, I don't get
and-
that though, because the ROM is always the problem here. That's the problematic thing.
Well, people
And
can load it into their phones, right?
well, I mean, you can't unless you root an iPhone. I mean, Matt, correct me. Like, you can't exactly.
You can just put it in files and then load it.
You
from the
don't
app.
get a directory when you plug your iPhone in. Matt, help me out here.
There are ways to do it, but I think you need iTunes on the PC.
Yeah, did Matt leave? Like,
Oh, maybe. He
Oh, I was
disconnected.
muted.
oh, okay.
I was
So
reading
what's
the
that-
Discord and I put myself on mute. What? Sorry, I missed what you're saying.
Can
Why don't you?
so if you had an emulator on your iPhone, can you just
Yeah.
load a file from your phone onto it that you would put on it somehow from like your PC or your Mac?
Yeah. So the iPhone now has a Files app, which is basically the file system built in, and that syncs also with your Mac. If you have your Documents
Yeah.
folder there, it'll be in this Files app. So it has full file system support. So
Or
you can
could
put
do
stuff.
cloud.
Okay,
old
in that
school.
so you
folder, yeah,
could have
or you
like
just transfer it.
You could have
Yeah.
a download folder,
Yeah.
and you could save a ROM to that, and then tell the emulator,
Exactly.
look at the download folder, run those ROMs.
Exactly.
Okay, which is very Android-y forever. But last time I had an iPhone, you couldn't.
So will there be
you
a
couldn't
Nintendo
do
I
that.
mean,
emulator that pops
it's
up?
very Windowsy. But
I know,
yeah,
but the
no,
last time
I
I had
agree.
iPhone,
a
you
lot
couldn't
of
do
these
that.
things where, Apple tried to
Yeah,
pretend
you
like,
had to
oh,
root
you
your
don't need a file
phone.
system. That's
Yeah.
too complicated. Our users like simple. They've relented on a lot of those things and said, no,
yeah,
we're
don't
gonna.
you have to sideload apps now too? Cranky's asking. I think you have to now on Apple. They have to. They're going to allow it.
to
'cause they have
sideload
to.
apps.
No, are they
Side-
allowing
Oh, you
side
can.
They're
loading?
allowing.
Oh yeah, they're allowing like third-party app stores because of the EU. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So things are changing. It's weird to see the emulators. Will we see a Switch one? Will we see Nintendo sue Apple? I don't know. John, you wanted to talk about the photo of Miyamoto holding what could be a Switch 2 prototype.
Yeah.
Is this a mobile device? I mean, it's
It's
large.
a Wii U.
Is it? So it's not
Sorry.
Apple Switch 2.
It's-
It
I saw
could
that
be.
picture. I think it's a Wii U, right?
Yeah. So John, what are you spreading misinformation here?
No,
What
is that a
this?
Wii U? I mean, I'm not
It's large.
spreading
It
anything.
doesn't-
I'm sharing. That's all I'm
You're
doing.
sharing tweets. Did Miyamoto just leak the Switch 2?
Yeah.
Old photo, Cranky
what
says.
am I
yes.
doing?
This is a nothing burger.
No.
Well, here's an everything bagel. Can I talk to you guys about this, okay? Because I think it kind of fits with the theme. Younger players like mobile stuff, but also this was something people were talking about. The Tekken boss said younger players prefer team games because they like shifting the responsibility if they lose. They don't like feeling that pressure of, playing alone. It's a team thing, and this is just part of the culture of the youth. They can't take any sort of accountability. Does this change the way games get developed now? Because even with things like MOBAs you were talking about before, one of the reasons a lot of people who weren't that great at MOBAs played the Blizzard MOBA, Heroes of the Storm, was because it was a team game, so you shared gold, you shared last hits, you shared kills and stuff. And so with fighting games and the one-on-one, they're saying like they're looking at the ages of people playing and they just can't handle it. What does that mean for gaming?
Yeah, I don't. It's stupid.
You don't- Well, I know. It's a funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I
They
never
don't.
thought
They
of
don't.
that.
Listen,
Yeah.
nobody wants to take ownership for anything, right? Is that
Yeah.
what? Is
How,
that what's
how
hap-
annoying is
Yeah.
it though when you have one person on your team that dies 7 times and uses up 7 out of 8 of your lives?
Yes.
That
well,
sucks.
that's why. The
But they
whole
want to
MOBA community is
hide.
called toxic
They want to
and stuff
hide
because it's
inside
very-
that, Matt, and it's not clear
Yeah.
who the weak link is.
Well, remember
Right.
at the end of, like you said, they were hiding KDA in Call of Duty or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
John?
they
Like,
were,
remember?
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like they don't
that's
want to
super
show.
annoying.
They
Yeah,
started
it's like
doing
they
that a
don't-
few years. Matt and I
Yeah,
noticed that
because
right
it's
away
toxic.
because we're
Yeah.
trying to find what our KD ratio is, and it's buried
Yeah.
in like 3
Because
menus.
it's,
What?
You're being
And it
competitive
used
even
to
with
be-
yourself or your friends.
Yeah, and
Every
it used to
match.
be right on the leaderboard every
Yeah.
time. Now they hide it.
Yeah.
They only show kills,
And
and,
then
then
they-
later on,
and they changed
like
it
if
to
you look-
ED. They changed it to
Yeah.
ED.
Right, it's eliminations per
Because
death, and
if
eliminations.
you shoot somebody once but don't kill them, you get credit
Yeah.
if that person dies later.
So
Right,
you can't
which
go,
is
hey,
called-
loser,
which
you
is-
have 2 kills,
What?
you suck
It's-
shit. They
right.
want to get
Yeah.
rid of that. But that's part of
Right.
the fun of gaming, like competition and seeing what you did and shit
That
talking.
yeah,
and
It's
that
so
having
was
bad.
fun.
one of the worst things
People
because
can't handle it now.
Matt and I were obsessed with KD ratio.
Well, yeah,
and then
Yeah.
they
That's
hit
how you
it.
know if you're
they
good or
hit
not.
it. They
The
fucking
end.
literally hit it.
Because people are fragile bitches now. Like they have.
And they
take everything, like,
changed
too
the
seriously.
definition of it. But like, okay, so
Yeah.
younger players prefer team games so they can just kind of hide in the shadows of everyone else.
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm just,
Right.
part of a team. I don't know. I think it's just was kind of a silly thing. Other news, let's see.
Well,
SOCOM.
the big news here, though, Michelle, is this whole Blizzard thing.
Oh, really? What's that? I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, so Phil is in this photo.
Oh.
And so he basically, he's proud to
dear.
announce that Blizzard, Microsoft, has made a new agreement with NetEase to bring the Blizzard games back to mainland China.
Oh, unless the guy who wins the Hearthstone tournament mentions Taiwan again, then they're gonna ban him.
Well,
I mean,
that's
Blizzard-
an
Blizzard's
entirely
been up-
different topic, but
It's the same topic though, because Blizzard had problems with China for a bunch of reasons. They were always licking their butts, and then there was the whole thing that went on with Diablo Immortal.
well,
and
it's
then
a
they
little more
pulled away
than
because-
Blizzard. But so
well, now it's Microsoft, so that's why they're back.
well, the thing is, listen, China is a massive market, and you know
Yes.
that whole
And
Diablo
there's special
Immortal
versions of Warcraft.
the
for
Diablo,
China,
the whole
by the way, too.
Diablo thing, that whole do you have a mobile phone thing was because of China, right, and Asia.
Yes, and wanting to reach new players.
Right.
Yes.
And so, I guess the
So-
question is, and this is a mobile episode. So
Yeah.
what does this mean? Because NetEase is definitely I mean, what does NetEase do? They did that Battle Royale I played, right?
They do
Sounds
everything.
familiar. What?
Yeah, the Battle Royale that I streamed and played on my PC was made by NetEase. So NetEase is like a Tencent type company, right? Like,
Well, I mean, what happens when WoW goes on mobile in China? Or Diablo or whatever. I mean, it's Diablo. They love Diablo Immortal. Like, the Chinese love Diablo.
that was
Even
not
though
a
it's
bad, horrible game. I didn't hate that. You didn't either. You played a lot of that.
I didn't play a lot of it.
You
but
did too.
I didn't. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I played the PC version, but it was kind of like,
It was fuzzy. That was like.
it was not great. I mean, but it's Blizzard, so
Yeah.
what were we expecting? It wasn't even made by them.
Yeah, it looks
John,
like
I think
NetEase maybe does like mobile versions like of games.
Yes,
like I
they
see
did
Dead by
Diablo
Daylight
Immortal.
for mobile, stuff like that. Yeah.
so. I mean, what does it mean? Will it impact us? It's just business in China.
I think
because
it
most of
does.
it's done mobilely. They want mobile. I mean, all of mobile games in general are very inspired by Asia. And the games are way more Asian flavored and Asian themed too, if you look at it. Like
Right.
a lot of the art and the developers, and it's like because it's such a huge market there, it feels like almost a different world. You're kind of like, hey, there's a different
Yeah,
scene
like
here.
in general, like in Asia, don't people have less desktop or laptop computers and more likely to just have their phone?
Yes. Yep.
So this is gonna drive
I can
everything
feel
though,
it.
because that's
Yeah.
you know.
Michelle.
Yeah, and they
Asia's
only have a
population.
short amount of time to game. So games are like, especially with Chinese, they get like 2 hours a day. So like games have to be played in a bite-size amount, so that makes shorter matches and less gameplay and more automation. And it does change games and trickle down a little bit. What's this, John? I'm looking at Stellar Blade.
Yeah, this is literally word for word what I've been saying for years. And this is the developer of Stellar Blade saying it.
Okay, what does he say?
Basically, he's defending his decision to make this hot Asian girl the main character.
What is wrong with this? Who wants to run around as an ugly girl in latex?
but this is literally
Like, what do
like word for word what I've been
People need to
saying.
let this go.
Like this is fucking
Yeah.
art.
What does
okay?
he say? He says, when I play a game, I would like to see someone better looking than myself.
Yes.
That's how I feel. I want to see
Yeah.
me. Like, I
Yeah.
do see making a character,
But this
I
is
want it to be me,
literally.
but, like the,
I don't
want to
see some big
right?
forehead
Like,
Down
perfect.
syndrome person. I
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
like
There's nothing wrong with fantasy.
But
there
like
really isn't.
this, honestly, I want to buy Stellar Blade just cause to support it. Like this
It's
guy.
his vision. It's what he wants.
It's
and
what
he's
he
getting
wants.
shit for it.
He's like, listen, I like hot fucking chicks in latex, and that's what I want to see. Like that's literally like word for word what I've been saying
and
for
then
years.
people are comparing the model that they use, saying it's not her one-to-one.
Oh, fuck
Obviously,
off.
they went
Who
and they
gives a
boosted
shit?
her ass, they
Then
boosted
don't
her thighs.
play
Who
it.
cares?
Go
it's the
go
video
play
game version of
wheelchair
her,
hockey
right?
2010.
Right.
Like I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
wheelchair
Like,
hockey. Yeah, old Cranky says, I don't want to play as a scrawny Batman. I agree. You don't want a Batman without broad shoulders
Right,
or a bad
like-
jawline. Do you want a receding chin Batman? Are guys wanting to play that?
Right.
I think this is like, who is fighting for, like, against this? Like, because they always mention women, but it's like, I personally, myself, and women I know, we don't want to play as dumpy, weird
But it
things
doesn't
either.
matter.
We want to be
These aren't
pretty.
women. These aren't people. These
It's
are
fiction.
influencers.
Yeah.
It's
These are,
someone's
you know,
vision,
people
okay?
You guys
that
know
need
women
clicks.
like pretty
These are
things, right?
people
Like
that need
shoes
clicks.
and pocketbooks and jewelry. Like we
Right.
kind of like pretty things too, and we kind of want to be pretty. I don't know. I hate to tell you guys that. So like,
It's-
who's actually having a problem with this?
I'm kind of torn on this because, like, I do think most of this content is made by people that, like, if you're sitting there and you're like, how can I go viral? How can I get clicks? Because I'm an entrepreneur. My entrepreneur business is to try
Sex
to get
sells.
clicks because,
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna get. That's how I'm gonna get paid. You get paid for clicks, you know. So, and engagement. Then you say, well, you know, I can be upset about this, and I bet I could get people fired up about this. And
I honestly think they really believe this, though. Like a lot of these people
do
writing,
they?
like they
No.
seem like
I think
they're like
Michelle's right,
activists. I
actually.
think they really do. I've seen them
because
go
there's been
crazy
such a
on-
push to
Yeah.
just have this representation or whatever, which is which basically throws aside artistic vision and
Right. If it's an artistic vision
fiction.
to make an ugly character, then fine. But what's
yeah, that's
happening
fine.
is you
Like
get
I
these
said,
third parties that
if
come
you
in
want
that
to
say,
make
no, you
wheelchair
must
hockey
make her this and you
2010,
must make her look
and
like
that's
that.
your vision,
Exactly.
I support you, and if it's good, I'll play it. Okay. But
Yeah.
at the same time, if I want to make hot fucking Asian broad in latex, I support that too. Okay.
John, you can't say
I mean-
Asian anymore.
No, I
Why?
can't.
You can't say Oriental when talking about people.
Yeah.
You can say Asian. But
I know, Matt. I get it.
yeah,
There's a callback.
this
It was
story
good.
won't die, and it's because I keep seeing just stupid stuff about it. Where, like I said, the IGN France guy saying drawn by someone who's never seen a woman. Personal attacks and trying to paint the picture.
And the guy's literally like married to the art director of the game. Like,
right.
But the
who's a
thing is
woman
also
who
like
drew
there
it.
absolutely are women that look like that, and you're shaming them now by saying that's
Right.
not realistic. Like, what if
Right.
you look
Here's
like
the
that and
thing,
now
it's
you
because-
feel like
because,
shit?
it's because the
Like-
person that are criticizing it, A, can't get that woman, and B, can
No,
never look
it's
like
not.
that woman.
They're trying to appear woke. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
They say it's sexually empowering when they're on Twitch showing us their tits and pushing us to their OnlyFans. But
Yeah.
when it's
Right.
in a game, they call her a blow-up doll whore and a stripper. I'm the other way. I think in a game is the place to be comfortable and have fantasy and be outlandish. I don't want to see this from real women on Twitch that are really just sex workers that I don't think is empowering, trying to sell themselves to 14-year-old boys and take advantage of incels. Like, that's where I don't want to see it. In a game is where we should see it. You guys know fantasy from reality? People can't separate it anymore.
Yeah.
So they're saying that. But these same people are saying these are empowering sex working women
Yeah,
on
I
Twitch,
know.
and we should support them. But she's a whore in the game, guys. You have it
She's
backwards.
not. Like,
She's just
I
a
don't know.
video game character.
I know,
It's a
and-
side
Strong
gig,
argument,
right?
Michelle.
I've literally said this for
Come
at
on
least
now.
10 years, maybe more, about
Yeah.
it's fiction. It's
I don't think
it's-
people understand fiction anymore.
It comes
They
out
just
of
don't. They don't
someone's
get it.
brain. It's
Everything's
their
a
vision,
message. Everything
and
is-
that's what it is. Okay, and that's what Pulp Fiction is. That's what Star Wars is. That's what everything is. It comes out of someone's brain. They create a world. They create
Well, it used to.
characters.
Now it comes out of a sensitivity team.
Yeah, I
wants to
know.
look at it. Well, you better make sure there's a vitiligo
Right, and
option
George
in there.
Lucas is rolling in his fucking backyard right now. He's not dead, but like because
Let's not curse it. We do the VGO curse here.
Good save.
We have to be careful.
what?
Yeah, I mean, the chatters are saying they're virtue signaling for pussy. I agree. Watch out for male feminists. They're usually the creepiest fucks out there, right? Like, it's just people are
Yeah.
trying
Right.
to appear good. So
Right,
it's
and
right
it's
now
some
it's-
fucking dude with a ponytail who works at Subway.
Yeah,
so
Sorry.
it's
whatever.
like who molested a child.
I
That's what
can't
it
get
always
past
is.
he's
So it's a
rolling
fucking
in his
creep.
backyard.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what George Lucas is doing right now. So I don't know. He's not
No,
dead.
it's a good save
You
because
just cursed George Lucas again.
like he's rolling in his I don't know, bathtub. He's probably
Cool.
taking a bath.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't know where you were going. But yeah, George Lucas is fine, guys. Let's not.
No,
Let's
I
not worry
installed
about
Japanese
that.
But
rural
listen,
life
I
adventure on my
assure
Mac.
you-
Oh, I love it. It's like
Good.
Animal
That
Crossing
looks-
meets
That
Stardew
looks
Valley.
mighty cozy.
I assure you,
Let me
George
tell you, it
Lucas
taught
is
me so
not
much about
happy.
Japan and their traditions. What's George Lucas mad about now, John? Go
He's
ahead,
mad
sorry.
about
Well, I'm
that.
planning to go to Japan later this year, so this
Oh,
is perfect.
good. Oh, it's really cool. I really enjoyed that game, Japanese Real Life Adventures. It's my mobile game of the decade. Sorry, John, continue.
I'm gonna play it.
I don't
George Lucas.
know. Okay, so listen to this. Now, guys, we love Ubisoft. Now, they have a new
We
game
do?
coming out. Are you aware
Is it
of
the
this?
one where the developer for? No, what is it? Go ahead.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah,
Oh,
where
is
the
that-
developer said she hates white men.
Well, okay,
Another one?
that's another George Lucas rolling around his backyard topic. But
All right,
so
yeah.
so on the box, internet required to install the game. Discuss.
Oh, I mean,
Well, I mean, internet was required to install Warzone Mobile, so what?
Okay, but it's a physical disc. Discuss.
I've been telling you this. It's just DRM at that point. They just want to prove you own it. You've got to go download it. This has been going on for years. I get why people are upset about it.
Okay.
But-
Now, on the flip side of this, okay, we know this is a problem. On the flip side of this, I want to talk about Phil and Microsoft.
Of course you do.
Are people upset because they don't have internet, or like how do these people
Okay,
communicate?
Matt,
wanna
if you
feel
want to
like they have to
revisit
be
a game
online
on the
to play.
Dreamcast or whatever retro console,
They can pull it. It's on the internet. They can
you
delete
don't
it.
need the internet
It's like
to
a
do that,
digital
okay?
ownership.
If there's a fucking dirty bomb that goes off in Boston,
calm
Matt, you're
down.
fucked. Okay, you're not playing
Well,
this
George
shit.
Lucas. Now you're talking about putting nails in a pot.
We're
That's not a
we're
dirty
kind of
bomb.
That's not a
way
dirty
beyond
bomb.
this point. You know,
Well,
like
they could. Maybe the nails had tetanus on them.
Okay, I'm not
It's a
talking
small
about
percentage
that,
of games at this
that
point that
fucking
you
Stop
could
Mark
actually-
Wahlberg movie.
Boston
I'm
Marathon
talking about
shit,
that's
John.
not the same thing. A dirty bomb is not a pressure cooker bomb, Michelle, or
It
a
could
Mark
have had some
Wahlberg
bioweapon
dirty
in
bomb
it.
is like a
Thank you.
A dirty bomb is like a nuke in a suitcase. or
Yes,
something.
Michelle, very different. Okay, you're talking
Could be
about
in
a couple
pot.
of
Why can't it
psychos
be
in a
pot?
boat.
Don't tell me I can put something in a pot.
Okay, all
Okay,
right,
let's move on.
all right. So with this,
So the Outlaws game, yeah,
all right.
which
So
I thought looked
should
cool
I
in the
care about
trailer that I
this
saw
game?
like a year ago.
okay, so
I thought
all
it
right,
looked
anyway,
feel like it's gonna
Ubisoft
be
is
cool.
saying, listen, this disc in this box is fucking bullshit. You just bought it at Walmart. Go home
Are these
and
people new to gaming?
and download
like,
60.
This has been going on.
Okay, All right, now on
That's
the
what I'm saying. Like most games are this already. We're way past this.
We've lost the battle. And
okay,
you're
I
not
don't
gonna
think
change it.
I've
Put down your
seen a game that
pitchforks.
has that warning. Okay, on
I
kind
mean,
of the
all
flip
these games like that. Diablo's like
All
that.
right, on
You
the
can't play it
flip
all
side
time.
of this, kind of. This is like loose connection, okay? Because this does kind of require the internet. But Microsoft has created a team. Are you aware of this? A team. They have
Oh my
formed
God.
a new team. A team, Michelle. This is multiple people.
Of how many people?
Okay, it's a
Team.
team. It
What
can
do you
be
need to
two
be a
or more.
team? Three?
I think basically.
Yeah. Okay.
They have formed a new team, and we've noticed this with Microsoft the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Microsoft loves a team.
We have formed a new team dedicated to game preservation.
Oh.
Important to all of us at Xbox and the industry itself. Now, I think Microsoft has clearly demonstrated that they're way better at bringing their old games forward and making them actually better. Like, if you revisit an old Xbox...
They do.
They
Yeah.
do. Sony,
Yeah.
they give two shits. Now, the
Nintendo,
fact
they
that
wanted you
Sarah
to buy it
Bond
3
here
times, yeah.
is saying that there's a team, okay, which is more than
You feel
two
good
people.
about this.
It's 2 or more,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
No, that's cool because they can come up with standards maybe and get
Yeah.
like the rest of the industry to follow it. Where it's like, no, if you have like a DRM that has to go online, it needs a self-destruct in 20 years. You know, like and
Right.
then, so that it just always works. Like you need to
Yeah.
put that in.
Think ahead.
But it depends. Something like this Outlaws game, is it internet required because they want to?
The game's not on the disc.
Right,
Probably too
or is it
big
that
and-
they don't want to commit to a gold master
Right.
and release it
That's
and
been
print
the
it on
MO.
a disc
And there'll be a
right.
day
and
one
it's
update
and it's not going to
anyway,
be
which is
done
the
in
full
time
game.
anyway. So
Yep,
yeah, it's really
exactly.
just that we want you to download this and get the latest update because we're still working on it, and that's all it is. So how do you preserve that? The game doesn't exist.
But the game, okay, if there's some version of the game on the disc, it should just work, right? If you're in a field with a generator,
the old version
What
of
if
the
there's
game
no
without-
version on the disc?
well, that's the problem, Matt, because there's
That's why physical media is going away, and they're selling you empty boxes. And I've done that. I've purchased a Warcraft box where there was nothing
me
in it.
too.
Remember, John? But a
Destiny.
code. This has been going on.
Yeah.
It's just.
Destiny 2.
It's not that new.
You and I,
I agree.
bought
I
as a
understand why
code in a
people are
box
upset, but
on a
it's not-
PC.
Yeah.
But anyway, Xbox, again, you need internet for this stuff because I bought, I forget the name of the game. What was that flying Red Baron game on the original Xbox?
Crimson Skies.
Yeah, I bought a copy of that game at a flea market like years ago, and I brought it home, threw it in my...
Why do they call it a flea market?
I don't know.
I wanna
I threw it
ask?
in my Xbox One or something at the time,
Good question.
and it said,
Are there
"Oh,
fleas
you
and
just
everything?
you just put the Crimson Skies disc in, and then
Yeah.
it downloaded a new
Well, that
version
is the
of
nice
it."
thing about Xbox.
It
yeah, that you
but it
won't get-
downloaded a new it didn't actually run the version off the disc. It downloaded an updated version that ran on the Xbox One or whatever it was at the time. And so they're doing that now with the old games, is that you will install it and then you'll get an up-res game that has like 60 frames now, and the old one had 30. It has up-res
Yeah.
textures, it has, whatever. But anyway, so Xbox apparently is really committed to this. They're building this is quote unquote, I think this is Sarah Bond. We are building on our strong history delivering backwards compatibility to all of our players, and we remain committed to bringing forward the amazing library of Xbox games for future generations of players to enjoy. So I know, I just want to give them a little bit of kudos because I've noticed this over the last few years, and now they're kind of just.
Maybe they can do it where the copyrighted music doesn't make them pull the whole
Well,
game.
that's
from
the problem.
store.
Like the Tony, you can't play
know,
Tony Hawk. You can't play
You
Guitar
need to
Hero.
sign deals that say
Yeah.
that this can be used or something like that. Think ahead now with it.
But that's like
League
a
of Legends is getting a
Activision
Vampire
problem, both of
Survivors
those.
PvE mode later this year. That's kind of big news. SOCOM coming back though is possibly leaked. John, are you
Yes.
excited about this? Okay.
Well, I've mentioned this also the last couple of years about.
You've talked about this for like over a decade.
Yeah.
Well, it's just it's
How
weird.
you want? So you want SOCOM, right? Because that was amazing and it came out with the PlayStation, but then it just died.
It's just a weird thing. It's one of these licenses and brands that Sony had. That like I literally bought a PS3 because of SOCOM, and now it's just gone. Right? Like my first voice device, right? They had the
Right,
Bluetooth
the voice
headset.
chat, yeah.
It
They're
was
looking at
because of
Helldivers,
SOCOM.
and they're saying,
You know?
shooters, people want them. This would be another game that would probably be PC, PlayStation launched simultaneously, like Helldivers,
It has to
and
be.
probably do very
It
well.
would
So
have to
the voice actor David on his resume put motion capture work for SOCOM by Sony. So that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. I think that Sony needs to do that, especially with Call of Duty being a Microsoft thing now. And that's what I was
so that could
saying
be big.
before. When Jim Cryan was crying about Call of Duty, it's like, dude, you have fucking SOCOM and you fucking killed it. It's your own fucking fault.
You know we can't compete with it though.
But they killed SOCOM, and SOCOM was a player against Call of Duty at the time. It really was.
And it probably was equal quality at the time, but now Call of Duty is like 12 years ahead of SOCOM in development, in refinement, right? So
Right. And even like
but yeah, it's their
Killzone
fault. Why didn't they continue SOCOM year after year and make it awesome?
And honestly, SOCOM's a great name. It's badass. It's grounded in reality, like Call of Duty.
What's that short for?
Call of Duty is not grounded in reality.
Yes,
anymore.
it is.
If you're flying around with Snoop Dogg
It's a
on roller
Navy
skates,
SEAL thing.
you're not allowed to say
It stands
that
for
anymore.
Special Operations Command, Matt.
Yes.
Well,
And I
maybe
guess
it'd be more
flea
like
market,
Siege, 'cause
flea,
it's like
flea
tactical.
market is named after like a Paris French market by the same,
Okay.
by that name in French,
Not
because
actual
the
fleas.
old furniture, they'd bring out old furniture and it would have fleas in it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, like in the upholstery. Anyway,
We
so
called the tag sales or garage sales. Oh, that's different. A flea market's like
No,
when you
that's
go
different.
To like a setup thing. Okay, like a private
Yeah.
corporation. Okay.
there probably are
Yeah, I don't think I've
fleas
ever been.
typically at a flea market.
Gross.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. Have you ever been to one?
I haven't. I know my sister went to one at UConn and she invited me to, and I didn't go. I think they had like all these people outside set up. It's like a convention, right? Outside.
I used to go because you would go on. There'd be
It's like
just
it's like a giant
stalls
garage sale.
after stall
Like-
of like just so much junk, and there's people that like this is what they do for a living is collect and sell this
Yeah.
junk.
But you
And
know,
they, but the thing is, you would find some places where there was like a box of
Yes.
Nintendo cartridges.
Yes,
know,
and
or
that
like,
was
internet's
my-
ruined that.
I would-
Everybody knows what they have now.
Well,
it
that's
takes
the
the
problem.
magic out of it.
So
right?
I
I
used to
get
go-
like bootleg
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Pearl Jam cassettes. Like
Right.
you would find some great stuff.
Yeah, I would go
Yeah.
looking for
Magic's
guitars
gone.
and
Yeah.
used games. But then when the
Yeah, I
smart
would- I'd
when the
look for
smart
guitars, too.
when the smartphone thing became a thing,
Yeah.
you could just go on
Yep.
eBay and see what it was really worth.
That happened with my
Right.
sister in college. She
Yeah.
would go to Goodwills and buy shirts and sell them on eBay. She made $100,000 one year doing that. Can't do that
Oh my
anymore.
God.
Yeah, she had a full factory in her basement because she would go and she would find these like $300 Tommy Bahama shirts or something at like
Right.
Goodwill for $2 and sell them on eBay. And this was when eBay was just popping back when she was in college. And like you could do things like that. I feel like these days. you
Yeah,
can't.
everybody knows what everything's worth. Nobody's
Exactly,
selling
and
that
that's-
rare Nintendo cartridge.
Yep.
What's that gold one? The Olympics one?
Oh,
Oh, I had that.
Nobody's
game.
selling that at a flea market now, but they might have in
Right.
the 80s. you know?
Olympic one. What do you mean?
I don't know. There was some
I had the Olympic
special cart.
games.
What's the most expensive cartridge? It's like golden.
It's not. Well, that
make
the
real.
Zelda one was gold. There was
Oh.
a cartridge for the Nintendo like tournament thing.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Olympics, the tournament. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it wasn't gold though. I had a reproduction of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like the fun of flea markets is probably gone unless you can haggle a little bit. Because they were even talking about that with the Midwest Gaming Classic, like trying to haggle with people, but they'd pull out their phones and look it up and be like,
Oh,
"Nope, I
Matt,
could
you're
sell
right.
this
There
right
was
now
a
for
gold
30
version of
bucks."
that cartridge.
Aha.
It was the Nintendo World Championship cartridge. I had a reproduction of that cartridge that I got rid of somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
any other news you guys see?
yeah, the gold version was basically like the Zelda cartridge. Remember the Zelda cartridge was gold
I had.
Yeah, that I remember.
and battery backed up. Which was a big deal at the time. It's like, oh my god, there's a battery in here. It's saving my shit. How can that be? Ooh, Michelle.
I don't see anything else.
Yeah.
Want to get out of here? All right, well, we do thank you guys for listening and subscribing. Remember, you can find us during the week. Go to videogameoutsiders.com. We have a Discord where you can support us. We do a weekly podcast in there. You can also get our app on iOS and Android. For $1.99 a month, you get the whole back catalog of almost 20 years and weekly bonus shows that John and I do, and you can also support the show.
That's right. And then also go to
Thank
our
you, Matt.
Twitch at
Check him out.
twitch.tv/JohnMichelle and subscribe
With the
with your
jelly car
Amazon
soundtrack.
Prime. Yes, check out Matt. Well, Matt and I have the Kill Screens album. We have
Yep.
our
Yeah,
third
we have
album.
a
now.
relatively new album. Yeah.
Yeah,
a
our-
bunch of
our-
new stuff coming soon.
Yeah, we have a fourth album in the works. We have probably half of it done, really.
Yeah,
kind of close.
I think so.
And so yeah, our third album, Daytime Vampire, is on Spotify, Apple Music. It's everywhere. Check it out. And then Matt, follow Matt on Twitter, right?
It's McCarthy99 on Twitter. Yeah. That's about the only like social media I do. So.
So, all right, Matt. Well, thanks for joining us. Again, go to twitch.tv/John and Michelle. You guys can use Amazon Prime to sub to us there and listen to our past streams, and you can see the home run derby we did last weekend and all that shit. So check it out. All right, guys. Thanks for subbing, listening, all that stuff. We'll see you very soon. Video Game Outsiders out.
All right.
All right. Thank
Calling down a sentry. Calling in reinforcements. Ready to liberate.
Requesting advanced weaponry!
Requesting air support. Calling in reinforcements.
Mag's empty! Mag's empty! Democracy has lived! Mag's empty! Mag's empty! Dropship! Calling in reinforcements! Reinforcing!
Reinforcements have been launched.
Mag's empty! Mag's empty!
Sentry! Last reload! Sending down sentry.